is the host of Dolly Vision on YouTube. Check it out, folks. He travels around the country covering all types of cases like this.
What is up, my beautiful people of YouTube? Welcome back. There's like 250 of you in the room. Real quick, guys, do me a solid. Like this video. If you're super cool, share it on your Facebook. There's a new press conference for Maddie Soto that's happening at 1 p.m. Okay, so we're going to tune into that. I already have it pulled up, ready to go. So in just about 4 or 5 minutes, we're going to hear the newest official update on what is going on with Maddie Soto. Now, if you don't know who Maddie Soto is sort of similar to the Audrey Cunningham case. This is coming out of Orange County, Florida. She was last seen at a church parking lot. The mom's boyfriend dropped her off to school, or did he? Later on, search warrants were done of communication devices, and some really bad things were found on his phone, and he was charged with these charges. Now, he sits in jail. This little girl is still missing. The last update we got wasn't very much from the police, so we're hoping it's something good, something big this morning. Maybe she's been recovered, or there's more information that there's foul play, or she never went to school. I don't know what it's going to be this morning, so but I'm ready to find out. I'm sure a lot of you guys are too. So give me 1 second. Let me share the screen. Right here. All right, let's add this up here. It says sheriffs will be providing an update on this case of missing 13-year-old Madeline Soto this afternoon at 1 p.m. You can watch this update live or on our Facebook, YouTube, or X Twitter pages. Okay, so I pretty much have it pulled up here, and we're ready to go as soon as it starts. So what is the news going to be this morning? You know, hopefully they found out something that this little girl has just ran away and it's nothing super bad, but we don't know of this second. So we're going to find out though. Candy Kisses Forever. Thank you for becoming a new member. That is a great way to keep Dolly alive right there. So let me go ahead and share this with y'all. Just make sure we don't miss anything this morning. Okay, and that was their last update, was that one that they're going to do an update at 1 o'clock. So we're just a couple minutes out. Jeanette has been a member for 9 months. Also, happy birthday to Michael. He is 47 today. Is that right, Michael? You're getting up there, buddy. You're getting up there. Happy birthday to you. You're proud to be a member. Well, I'm glad, definitely glad to have you guys. I slept in a little bit this morning. I was going to try to be here a little earlier with you, but I made it in time for this press conference. So I guess it was good timing. I'm still sucking down my coffee. Now, I'm going to do a quick poll real quick. Just a quick poll in the chat room. How many people think this girl has ran away? Press 1. If you think she has met some foul play, press 2. Okay. I'm hoping and praying it's 1 that she's ran away. I'm hoping it ain't foul play. I see some 1s in the chat. I see 2s. Well, we know that she was being assaulted by this man from the videos that he tried to delete off his phone. See, he tried to delete the videos, but they have this program that can pull all the old stuff out of your phone, and they were able to retrieve these videos, and these were sexual in nature, and they don't name the kid. They don't say it's her. From my understanding, you know, the rumor on the internet is that it's her in these videos, and this man has sexually assaulted this young lady. And all right, here we go. Here we go. It's up. It hasn't started yet, but it's there. All right, so let's jump up. Let's blow it up. Let's pray for good news, and it's nothing bad today. Let's hope the police are forthcoming with us. Thank you for covering these cases, Dolly. No problem, guys. I'm just as interested in them as you. You know, some dudes get up and watch the football scores and check out the basketball game. I watch true crime.
All right. So thank you for being here. We have some important developments in this case that we want to share with our community. I wish we were here to tell you that we have found Madeline, but we have not found her.
Damn.
Last night, detectives from the Kissimmee Police Department met with Madeline's mother, and they had to tell her the very devastating news that although we have not found Madeline, we are now confident that she is dead.
Wow.
Our efforts will be focused on recovering Madeline.
Oh, man.
Dozens and dozens of detectives, crime analysts, and specialized team members have been working nonstop and following up on every single lead and every shred of evidence. Our detectives have determined that Madeline was never dropped off on the morning of February 26th near her school. Instead, we believe she was already dead at the time and that Stephan Sterns moved her body in the early morning hours on that day. We have video evidence that shows Stephan Sterns discarding items in a dumpster in that apartment complex in Kissimmee at 7:35 on Monday, February 26th. Detectives later recovered Madeline's backpack and her school-issued laptop from that dumpster. At 8:19, we have evidence that shows Stephan Sterns returning to the complex, and Madeline was visible in that vehicle. We believe she was already dead at that time.
Wow.
As a result of that, although the initial missing persons investigation started in Orange County, the Kissimmee Police Department will now be taking over the investigation and will become the lead agency. And of course, the Orange County Sheriff's Office, all of our support personnel will be available and will still be assisting in this investigation. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Chief Holland from the Kissimmee Police Department. Chief?
Mom needs charges also, you think?
Thank you for being here. As Sheriff Mina said, this is still an active and ongoing investigation, and there is a lot of additional information that we cannot release at this time. I do want to note that Stephan Sterns was transported from the Orange County Jail to the Osceola County Jail, where he is being held on capital sexual battery charges filed by the Kissimmee Police Detectives.
Capital section.
Right now, our top priority is recovering Madeline. We are still appealing to our community for its help in this case. Please share this crime line bulletin on my right of Stephan Sterns. He was last seen driving a silver 2010 Lincoln MKZ. The Florida tag is IYLL82. On Monday, February 26th, between 1 and 2:30 p.m. in the area of State Road 192 and Old Hickory Tree Road, as well as Old Hickory Tree Road and Nolte Road. During this time frame, it is believed that Sterns had a flat tire and might have been seen changing the tire in this area. If anyone saw this vehicle or noticed anything suspicious, we're asking that they call Crime Line. We will continue to work tirelessly with the Orange County Sheriff's Office, the Osceola County Sheriff's Office, and St. Cloud Police Departments to bring a resolution to this case and recover Maddie. Thank you.
Wow.
Thanks, Chief. We'll take some questions, but just remember, we're still in the middle of this investigation. There's a lot of things that we cannot reveal. No, Sterns has not spoken to anyone.
So they found her laptop. They found all her school stuff.
The video evidence that we have. So we're not going to go into those exact details, but we have video evidence that leads us to believe that she's already dead.
Sheriff, there's been a lot of things that was laid out here just now. This location in the afternoon, is there a belief?
So he was throwing things in a dumpster.
Are you trying to figure out whether she was still with this car at that time?
Yeah, so it could be helpful to us if people saw something. And obviously, we're searching many different areas. But if someone saw something in that area, we want to know about it. What's that?
Where this car supposedly had a flat, is that area you've already searched?
So we actually have people searching areas right now. So they've searched a bunch of different areas, and they're going to continue to search. So I don't want to go into specifics on exactly where. I don't want to miss something. One more time. I'm sorry.
Poor little girl.
So what I'll say is what I already said is that we believe he moved her body in those early morning hours, and all that is still under investigation. Yes, we're talking to the mother.
Yes.
So we're talking to the mother and all this. There's, to my knowledge, she's not a suspect in this case right now.
Right now, he said.
That's correct. So from the dumpster, we recovered her backpack and her school-issued laptop.
Sure. We believe that I know that you're piecing things together with different portions of video. Is it the department's belief that she was killed at the house?
It's our belief that she was killed in Kissimmee and that he moved her body. And so that's why the Kissimmee Police Department is the lead investigators now.
As for messages that you said that Madeline might have sent about living in the woods when she turned 13, are you questioning whether those were actually sent by her rather than someone else?
Yeah, that's all part of the investigation, so we haven't determined that yet. Yeah, so obviously detectives have spoken to her mother, and as you can imagine, the reaction that any parent would have.
This is transition from a disappearance investigation to a murder investigation headed up by the city.
That is correct. It is transitioned to a homicide investigation, and the Kissimmee Police Department will be the lead agency in that investigation. We're still investigating it.
Thank you, Fat Cat.
Regarding the charges, because we noticed there's an additional charge for sex battery on a victim under the age of 12. Are you continuing to go through this phone and find more evidence?
The detectives are continuing the investigation, and as more evidence comes up, there may be more charges in the future. That's still all part of the investigation. I don't want to say right now.
What about the church footage that somebody mentioned she was seen wearing she was seen at the church?
So yes, we reviewed that footage. It was very grainy. We weren't able to determine that was her, but
Not her.
like I said, we know that she was never dropped off at school that morning.
Are you assigning extra personnel to this case over the weekend? Our search is continuing.
That's correct. Searches are continuing
They have
as we
video
speak.
evidence.
And so, like I said, we have people who are working nonstop. And so every lead that comes in, every piece of evidence that we receive, we're going to follow up on that. And if that leads us to a new search area, we'll be out all weekend. I think we're good.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Sheriff.
Okay, right there. I guess that's all the information we're going to get today on this. Now, that was a lot. They were very forthcoming. They told us exactly what was going on. Little Maddie, rest in peace to you. They have video evidence that little Maddie is deceased, which is absolutely horrible news to get this morning. I thought we was going to get something good because, this little girl appeared that she may have ran away. She never ran away. She never made it out that house. They found her book bag, her computer to school in that book bag. And there was a video of her in a car. They believe she was deceased at that time. They said he was taking things out that were wrapped up. Unbelievable. So sad. They're delivering the news to the mother, which some people I see in the chat room already saying the mother needs to be charged. In the mother's defense, this man had no priors. It's hard to tell if she knew, if Maddie had said anything to her. And I'm sure this lady's going to have to live with a lot of regret for not being there for her child. Wow. I thought it was going to be with, such a quick update press conference from the last night one, that this was going to be fairly quick. And they were going to say, well, we found evidence that she's ran away. She's been online or something. I was not expecting them to come straight out. And the first thing they say is this little girl is dead, that they've recovered her items. They have video evidence that he's done loaded this girl up in a vehicle and then went and hid her body somewhere. This dude is no more than a Stephen McDougal. What's his last name? Stern? Wow. So give me 1 second. We're going to play that press conference one more time, just for anybody that's just tuning in or anything like that. And I want to make sure I didn't miss nothing in it myself. Where did the press conference go? Let me see if I can find it for you guys. Orange County Sheriff. All right. 9 minutes ago. Here we go. Oh, they're saying that they're confident that she is dead. This is sad. This is sad news coming out, guys. Here we go. Here's the press conference right here. I just want to replay it one time for everybody that's just tuning in. But, you know, like I said, they have recovered some of the little girl's stuff. They haven't recovered her yet. They said there's video evidence that she is no longer with us. We got 250 likes on this video and 600 people in the room. Guys, do me a quick solid favor. Hit the like on this video. Okay. Dolly got out of bed. I ain't even done drinking my coffee yet to bring you guys this press conference. So hit that like for me, please. It helps us in the algorithm, helps new people see the channel. I can't get to 100,000 without each and every one of you guys. So they're confirming, the police are confirming this little girl is no longer with us.
All right. So thank you for being here. We have some important developments in this case that we want to share with our community. I wish we were here to tell you that we have found Madeline, but we have not found her. Last night, detectives from the Kissimmee Police Department met with Madeline's mother, and they had to tell her the very devastating news that although we have not found Madeline, we are now confident that she is dead. So our efforts
just like, wow,
will be focused on recovering Madeline. Dozens and dozens of detectives, crime analysts, and specialized team members have been working nonstop and following up on every single lead and every shred of evidence. Our detectives have determined that Madeline was never dropped off on the morning of February 26th near her school. Instead, we believe she was already dead at the time and that Stephan Sterns moved her body.
I wonder if Stephan Sterns ever seen Stephen McDougal. I wonder if he follows what's going on the internet. It seems so similar to had just happened. We just, you know, the same thing. This little girl was dropped off to school. I mean, I wonder if he was aware of the Audrey Cunningham, Stephen McDougal case.
In the early morning hours on that day, we have video evidence that shows Stephan Sterns discarding items in a dumpster in that apartment complex in Kissimmee at 7:35 on Monday, February 26. Detectives later recovered Madeline's backpack and her school-issued laptop from that dumpster. At 8:19, we have evidence that shows Stephan Sterns returning to the complex and Madeline was visible in that vehicle. We believe she was already dead at that time. As a result of that, although the initial missing persons investigation started in Orange County, the Kissimmee Police Department will now be taking over the investigation.
Yeah, thank God for video cameras because they knew he was throwing something away. They have the evidence, you know, and he wasn't a very good criminal. He tried to delete videos off his phone. You know, one thing in true crime, you will learn how to get away with some stuff in true crime. You know not to take your phone. You know you can't delete nothing on your phone. All those things you learn in true crime. Now, criminals ain't the smartest people. So, I mean, where's this little girl at? Is this going to be another case where we need Tim from Texas EquiSearch down there in Rivers or something? I don't know how big the rivers are or lakes around. I've never been to Orlando.
The lead agency. And of course, the Orange County Sheriff's Office, all of our support personnel will be available and will still be assisting in this investigation. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Chief Holland from the Kissimmee Police Department. Chief.
Thank you for being here. As Sheriff Mina said, this is still an active and ongoing investigation, and there is a lot of additional information that we cannot release at this time. I do want to note that Stephan Sterns was transported from the Orange County Jail to the Osceola County Jail, where he is being held on capital sexual battery charges filed by the Kissimmee Police.
Swamps and alligators everywhere. I should have knew that, knowing it's Florida. So yeah, he's then went and took this little girl somewhere and disposed of her. They believe she was dead the day before, prior to that. How could the mother not know? I like how you wrote that, Dumpling. Hit that like for Dolly Vision. That is right, guys. Let's get those likes up so the algorithm picks up the video and shares my ugly face.
Police detectives. Right now, our top priority is recovering Madeline. We are still appealing to our community for its help in this case. Please share this Crime Line Bulletin.
I've never heard of the capital SA battery either. I guess that's when it's on a child or something like that. I don't know.
On my right, of Stephan Sterns. He was last seen driving a silver 2010 Lincoln MKZ. The Florida tag is IYLL82.
Okay, how many people think he looks creepy? Press 1. If you think he looks normal, press 2. To me, he just looks like a normal dude. He don't even really look that creepy to me. Now, I mean, we know he's a creep now, but I mean, if you just seen this guy walking down the street, you wouldn't look over at him and go, creeper. The mom knew Jimmy, Dolly. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't think he was you don't know, but I mean, he don't look like he don't look like Stephen McDougal. He don't have a shaved head with spots and SWAT stickers on his forehead. Nothing like that. I mean, he looks like a everyday normal dude. And the mother had been dating this dude for years too. He was dressed as Goofy at Disney. Okay. I mean, yeah, he's probably pretty goofy. Well, he was doing goofy things, that's for sure.
On Monday, February 26th, between 1 and 2:30 p.m. in the area of State Road 192 and Old Hickory Tree Road, as well as Old Hickory Tree Road and Nolte Road. During this time frame, it is believed that Sterns had a flat tire and might have been seen changing the tire in this area. If anyone saw this vehicle or noticed anything suspicious, we're asking that they call Crime Line. We will continue to work tirelessly with the Orange County Sheriff's Office.
The capital one is when you mess with a child under the age of 12, okay, who is less than 12 years old. They give you the capital charge. When the battery occurs when a person is 18 years or older with a victim who is less than 12 years old, it will get you the capital charge that he is facing.
Office, the Osceola County Sheriff's Office, and St. Cloud Police Departments to bring a resolution to this case and recover Maddie. Thank you.
All right, so now we're at the phase of this is a recovery mission. And he got a flat tire and nails from a construction site, maybe. Well, they know where his phone is pinged. They know the general area he's been in. So I guess searchers are focusing on that area. I mean, at this point, he should know he's busted. He might as well just tell where that girl's at.
Thanks, Chief. We'll take some questions, but just remember, we're still in the middle of this investigation. There's a lot of things that we cannot reveal.
If you're just tuning in, they have not recovered. They have not recovered Maddie. They said she is dead. They believe she is dead. Trigger warning people. They have recovered her book bag. They recovered her laptop. It's just like Audrey Cunningham. Remember, they recovered the Hello Kitty book bag. But this girl's a little bit older. Wow. And she wanted to run away. We knew she wanted out of that house. This is what makes it so horrible. She said when she turned 13, she wanted to go live in the woods. What 13-year-old says that? I'll tell you what 13-year-old says that. The one that's being essayed brutally by her mama's boyfriend and didn't want to be in the house.
No, Stearns has not spoken to anyone.
Is there any possible specifics that you can give us as to what leads you to believe that she is definitively deceased?
The video evidence that we have.
Is it about this position
So we're not going to go into those exact details, but we have video evidence that leads us to believe that she's already dead.
Okay, I'm getting a message that's saying they found her body. Is that right? Okay, so I got some information just coming in. So at the press conference, you know, they're saying that they hadn't recovered her yet, but I'm getting some information now. They may have recovered her body. Not positive yet. Still checking on that. This is a sad story coming out this morning. Hello, everyone. Hello. So if you're just tuning in, okay, the police have come out in the newest press conference this morning. It just happened at 1 o'clock, 22 minutes ago, saying that Maddie is no longer with us, that this Stephan Sterns fellow threw her book bag and computer in a dumpster. There's video evidence that she was in a car with him. They believe she was deceased at that time, and they're in the process of recovering the body. I got some messages coming in saying they may have found the body. Hold on. Okay, so there's no proof that they found her body yet. Just some rumors or something of that nature. So it's not confirmed. No body yet, guys. No body. But they are in the process of searching for this little girl, and they believe she is dead. Okay. If you're just tuning in, I know a lot of people are coming in now that wasn't here when we first started. But this is the situation that is unfolding.
There's been a lot of things that was laid out here just now. This location in the afternoon, is there a belief? Are we trying to figure out, I know you're requesting video surveillance that area. Are you trying to figure out whether she was still with this car at that time?
Yeah, so it could be helpful to us if people saw.
Well, they haven't, as far as I know. If the media is saying they found her body, they're clickbaiting right now, because the press conference 22 minutes ago, we watched it live. He just said they haven't recovered a body. They're looking for clues for the car. If you've seen this car, to call in. So as I know of right now, there's no body, but they do say she is dead. They confirm she's dead. They believe she was dead in the vehicle. He threw Stephan Sterns threw away her book bag and her school issued laptop, and they have recovered that. So he's being held on capital sexual battery. And we looked up what capital sexual battery was. That's when a perpetrator over the age of 18 messes with a minor under the age of 12.
Something. And obviously, we're searching.
See, she's 13 now, but at the time he probably took these videos that are on his phone, she was 12. And you think about this. This woman had been dating Stephan Sterns for years. So he may have been doing this to this little girl for a long, long time.
Many different areas. But if someone saw something in that area, we want to know about it. What's that?
Where this car supposedly had a flat, is that area you've already searched?
So we actually have.
She turned 13 and the next day she went missing. It was just her birthday. I mean, it was just her birthday.
People searching areas right now. So they've searched a bunch of different areas, and they're going to continue to search. So I don't want to go into specifics on exactly where. I don't want to miss something.
I think the police have a general clue of where to search now. They may not have found her, but I believe they know the location that she will be in.
One more time. I'm sorry.
Let's see. The mother's, I guess, had no clue. She died on her birthday. Yeah.
So what I'll say is what I already said is that we believe he moved her body in those early morning hours, and all that.
If she died the day before, like the police are saying, how did the mother not know? How did the mother not know her daughter was dead? She got up and never checked on her daughter, never seen her daughter that morning. Anything? Something seems strange with the mother, because she said we took her to school. Then he said he took her to school, and then she didn't seem really sad or upset. Now we have her daughter dead. I don't know, man. I'm a little sketchy about that mama. I know what people are going to say. Dolly, why are you attacking? She's a victim. I'm just saying I ain't attacking her. I'm just saying I feel a little sketchy with the mother. Okay. I just know as a dad how I would act. And I would flip out. Okay. I would totally flip out.
Is still under investigation. Yes, we're talking to the mother. Yes.
She's not considered a suspect.
So we're talking to the mother and all this. There's, to my knowledge, she's not a suspect in this case right now.
You had mentioned that he dropped some items in the dumpster. Did you recover those?
That's correct. So from the dumpster, we recovered her backpack and her school issued laptop.
A lot of people in the chat are saying the mother knew. She was saying we dropped her off. Okay. Now, how many people in here think the mother should be charged with something? Press 1 in the chat. I'm just a little sketchy about it. I don't know. But if you think she should be charged with some type of neglect or something of that nature, press 1 in the chat. Okay. I'm seeing some ones already. Okay. And definitely the people involved in the Stephen McDougal stuff with Audrey Cunningham, I believe they should be charged. Now, this lady, I don't know, because this dude didn't have a previous record. Maybe she had no clue and she's just the dumbest person on the planet. But the majority of you guys in this chat right now said this woman needs to be in jail. I'm kind of surprised by that, seeing that, she had no way to check to see if he was a predator or anything. She had no way. If you would have searched for him, it wouldn't have came up, and she'd been dating this man for years. It's a hard one for me to say one with you guys to lock her up. But, when you see the interview, I go 1. If I never heard her talk about it, I would say, nah, let's don't lock this lady up. She might not have known. But when I see the interview and she can't be consistent and she's like, we took her to school, he took her to school, and she wasn't really emotional, I would say 1 with you guys, lock her ass up. She had to know something. Do you think, let me ask you this, and I know this is a hard one. Okay. How many of you guys think she turned a blind eye to this, that she knew what was going on and she turned a blind eye to it? Press 1 in the chat, press 2 if you think no. Okay. 1, she turned a blind eye. 2, she didn't know. Let's just see what the chat thinks about that one. I'm seeing a lot of 1s pop up already. Oh, Lord. And I hear this happens more than you would like to think, that people turn a blind eye to the abuse of their own kids, which is absolutely horrible. You should be there to protect your kids 24/7, no matter what. Okay, man. A lot of people in this room think she turned a blind eye to this and that this woman should be in jail. I'm kind of surprised. Usually I'm the one that's screaming, lock them up. Lock them up. Throw away the key. Execute them, right? Today, you guys woke up ready to go in on this mom, huh? Okay. Well, let's get through this a little bit. And, so everybody that's just tuning in can understand what's going on. But, people jumping in left and right. So this little girl, they think is dead. They recovered some of her items. It's easier to ignore it. No, it's not. You could never hurt my kid in front of me without me going crazy. I just, for a mother in a situation like this, never sell your kid out. Never. I couldn't sell my kid for $1 million. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those people that that is horrible. And that's probably why the little girl never went to her mom. Her mom probably didn't believe her. And that's just allegedly for entertainment purposes. Don't sue me, people. I don't know. Do your own research. But man, parents out here, you got to do better. You got to do better.
Sure, we believe that I know that you're piecing things together with different portions of video. Is it the department's belief that she was killed at the house?
It's our belief that she was killed in Kissimmee and that he moved her body. And so that's why the Kissimmee Police Department is the lead investigators now.
As for messages that sent by her rather than someone else?
Yeah, that's all part of the investigation, so we haven't determined that yet.
So what if he took her phone and sent those? I don't think he sent those messages. I believe this little girl really did want to get away from this monster, and she did plan on running away. He just got her before she had the chance to run away. She had planned on escaping. That makes it even sadder, you know, that this little girl knew she had to get away at 13 years old. She knew she was in danger. I wish and prayed she would have had somebody to talk to, somebody she could have told something, maybe somebody that could have helped her. Wow, we just live in a world full of sickos.
Yeah, so obviously detectives have spoken to her mother, and as you can imagine, the reaction that any parent would have.
This is transition from a disappearance investigation to a murder investigation headed up by the city.
That is correct. It is transitioned to a homicide investigation, and the Kissimmee Police Department will be the lead agency in that.
Stuff like this happens all over our country at least once a week, guys. Some of it just don't get the national attention and we don't hear about it. But cases like this, believe it or not, happen all the time. That's the sad thing about it. True crime is you'll always have something to talk about here, and it's getting worse because crime is getting worse. People are getting crazier. There's so many selfish people in this world that don't care about nothing but themselves, that it's like, and nobody values life anymore. The most important thing in this world is life. Is way more valuable than money, anything on this planet. Life is more valuable than that. But nobody appreciates it. Nobody cares. They may appreciate their life, but they don't appreciate yours. It's sad.
Investigation. We're still investigating it.
I have a question for you, Chief, regarding the charges, because we noticed there's an additional charge for sex battery on a victim under the age of 12. Are you continuing to go through this phone and find more evidence?
You know Nancy's going to have something to say about this. I don't know. Of course, Nancy's on every day. She's, that's Nancy Grace. That's what she does. She's like Dolly. We hear every day. We don't miss a day of work. Okay? Where there's crime, we here to talk about it. Nancy's going to go off because Nancy knew this little girl was dead. Even when I was praying yesterday, Nancy was already, she had that look. She always looks like she has an onion under her desk. I don't know how she looks like she's about to cry constantly. But then again, Nancy talks about some of the worst stuff you can. Nancy got to eat too, right, honey bun? Right? Nancy got to eat. Yeah, I mean, she talks about the worst stuff, so maybe that's why she's so sad. Or they secretly put some onions under her desk, and she just looks like she's always about to cry. And she's quick to know when, because when you've been around this long enough, and I've only been doing true crime for 2 years, but I've been watching, crime stuff all my life. But after 2 years, I can tell you just about when something's going to be okay and when something's totally bad. Now, I told you guys yesterday I was 50-50 on this because of the video at the church. I was like, okay, if that video is real, then she's ran away. But she's also been assaulted, okay? And I was just praying that was the case. I hate the wish that a kid would, take off like that. But in her situation, you got to get away from that. You got to get away no matter what. And if she would have probably had just a little tiny bit more time, she would have got away, but she didn't.
The detectives are continuing the investigation, and as more evidence comes up, there may be more charges in the future. That's still all part of the investigation. I don't want to say right now.
What about the church footage that somebody mentioned she was seen wearing she was seen at the church?
So yes, we reviewed that footage. It was very great.
Yes, I have the interview where he's in the background. We watched that last night's video. We went over all the interviews with the mom. We watched some of Nancy talk on it. Nancy thought she was dead Nancy thinks everybody's dead though. Okay. But that's because everybody is dead. If you sit here and say they're dead, you have way better chances of being right. Let's be honest. in this world, because usually when crime happens, it's the worst. It's the most heinous. We've all seen it. We all know that's been around the block a couple times when things ain't good. And Nancy knew. She was like, yep. Especially when you add these outsiders into your home. Like I said, he didn't have a criminal record, but this lady should have seen the signs in her daughter. When your daughter's 13 years old and she don't want nothing to do with you and she don't want to be in the house, something's wrong. Okay. You tell me this lady raised this kid for 13 years, and I don't believe this just started happening. She'd been dating this man for years. He probably had been doing this stuff to this kid since she was small, which makes it horrible, horrible human being. And if a woman could turn a blind eye to that, she deserves to be in prison right beside him. Okay. Right beside him, sitting right there. Horrible.
Grainy, we weren't able to determine that was her, but like I said, we know that she was never dropped off at school that morning.
Are you assigning extra personnel to this case over the weekend? Our search is continuing.
That's correct. Searches are continuing as we speak. And so, like I said, we have people who are working nonstop. And so every lead that comes in, every piece of evidence that we receive, we're going to find.
Okay, some people in the chat are saying the mom is innocent. Some people are saying the mom is guilty. She had to have known. In just a few minutes, we'll open the phone lines up and you guys can call in and you can tell me what you think about the situation with the mother and what you think should be done. Okay. Now, I said I'm 50-50 yesterday. You know, well, we now know the little girl is deceased. Now, on the mother, I'm having a hard time with that one, you know, because I don't know any of the circumstances of the mother. I don't know the background of the mother. She don't look like a druggie. She don't appear to be a bad person, but you never know. Sometimes it's the people that look innocent or guilty as shit.
Follow up on that, and if that leads us to a new search area, we'll be out all weekend. Got agree.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Sheriff.
I mean, okay. So you never know. I mean, so the little girl never went to school. She would have had to have been dead prior to the situation. Okay. This is where it leads to, did the mother know? Did the mother know that these things were happening to her child? So give me a second and I'm going to open up the phone lines. Let me get the call-in number on the screen for you guys. And if my mods could throw it in the chat, because I wasn't planning on doing a call-in show, but since we're here and since this is one of those debatable things about the mother, I want to hear what you guys have to say. Should the mother be charged with something, or is she just a victim like her daughter? If she didn't know and her daughter didn't say nothing to her, people ain't psychic. Okay, so this is two sides. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey,
Doug from Tennessee.
what's up, Doug?
Man, it's coming that you're going to have to lock your children up. Carry a gun on you 24/7.
Yeah.
Your kids not going to be able to go to school. It's getting bad.
I mean, I know. I think so too.
And it's as far as the mom, you got to wait to see the evidence. I just don't believe the mom could let a man do that. You never know.
Well,
you never know.
I mean, there's mothers out there through time that have allowed men to do these types of things. I know that for a fact. I mean, I don't know if this mama has, but there's been mothers out there that have allowed their kids to be abused by people and done nothing.
Just to keep the man.
Just to keep the man. They like the dude so much they don't even care about their kids. That's insane.
This dude here, he needs to be fast tracked.
I agree.
30 days. 30 days. Don't give you no more than 30 days.
Yeah, especially if they got video evidence of her being, deceased in that vehicle.
Yeah. No court case, no court crime, nothing. Judge, 30 days, sentencing, gone.
I can't argue with that one. I would agree that, what he's done is some of the most horrible stuff on the planet, and he deserves to pay for it.
If I ever knew that somebody did my children like that, I'd be in prison.
I'd definitely be in prison too.
I mean, it'd be point blank.
He might not make it to that courthouse.
He'll make it to court. They protect them people more than they protect
I know.
us.
I'm just saying, if he'd have done something to my kid, he might not make it to the courthouse.
He wouldn't have made it to jail if he'd done something to my kid.
So I just having a hard time believing that they think this little girl died the day before, and the mother had no knowledge of it. That just seems a little weird.
I believe she was fixed to tell on him.
Maybe it could be something that
She was fixed to tell on him, and he had to do something then. But it didn't do him no good.
I mean, people out there that do this monstrous things, you going to prison, but you're going to go, there's a difference between going to prison the rest of your life and getting a death penalty.
Yeah.
And
But these
kill
people,
somebody, if you already hurt them,
Yeah. I can't understand people. They're so stupid to take a cell phone and take pictures and stuff like this, videos.
Well,
These
people, they think they can get away with it, but nobody gets away with it. Nobody.
That's ignorant.
Unless you Candace and Don Wells, nobody gets away with it.
A cell phone ain't nothing but electronic leash.
That's right. Spying device on you. All right, Doug, you be
That's
good.
All right, Dolly. We'll see you at Con when you get on the top of it.
All right, you know it. You be good.
All right.
Peace.
Bye.
Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
It's Candace from Oklahoma.
Hey, Candace.
I went through something. This is awful. This is hard for me to tell.
Uh-huh.
I was married to a man for 13 years, and he had visitation with his children. He had a daughter and a son. I got with him when they were little.
Uh-huh.
I did not know that he was SAing his daughter for 6 years.
Prior to you getting up with him?
No, he did it while we were together.
Oh.
And he did it while I was sleeping, and I had no idea. And I knew these children for 13 years. And he's now in Oklahoma prison, serving a 28-year sentence, 85 mandatory. He's got 18 left. But we don't always know. Oh.
Yeah. And how did it come to be that you found out about what was going on?
He and I went to Jinx Aquarium for the weekend. That's in Jinx, Oklahoma. It's probably 2 hours from where we lived. Anyway, we got back and there was a card from an Oklahoma City detective on our door.
Uh-huh.
And he wanted us to contact him. So my husband started acting strange immediately. Anyways, I took initiative because something in my gut just told me, something's going on.
Uh-huh.
And I got him to confess. And it was like a gunshot to the gut, okay?
Yeah, because you loved this man.
I loved his children more than I loved him, and he knew that. And so I told him, please don't make her go through court, just tell the truth. And so he did. He told me. I called the police. I ran out of the apartment. He went to the bedroom. There was a pew in the bedroom, and I was afraid because I knew I was the only one that knew besides him and her.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, He confessed. He confessed to the police on camera, and he got 28 years. And I just
Wow.
can't believe this is happening just too often. But I just wanted to call and let you know that moms don't always know. Stepmoms don't always know. He was a great, great husband, but he was a monster.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
he made me feel like I was a princess and a queen, and that was part of his game.
Wow.
So-
Thank you so much for sharing. I know that's hard to talk about, but thank you just for sharing that with us. Cause you know, that opens up a whole new perspective that you may be right. Maybe she just didn't know, but
I don't believe she did.
in this whole time, I mean, you didn't have no clue whatsoever.
No, she loved her father in front of me. Now, one time I found a diary and she wrote F-U and she wrote his first name. And I thought that was strange. She was 9 when she did that. And I confronted her with it and I said, I defended him. And, you know, but I still have a relationship with her now.
Uh-huh.
She's in her 20s. She's almost 30. So just be mindful that we're not always aware.
Yeah. I can understand that. And I
But there
know
was
it can
no
happen.
something. There was no, I mean, like I said, I knew her 13 years from, you know, she was 2 when I met her. And my stepson was just a few days old when we got together. Crazy. But anyway, I had no idea.
Yeah. Wow. That's a crazy story. Well, I'm glad you're out of that. And
Oh, me too. Me too.
and it's over
But
for you.
it never goes away. And I can't imagine the mother, what she's going through and the betrayal she feels. And it's unreal. So I don't believe she knew.
Okay. It was good talking to you. I appreciate you calling.
Yeah. Have a good one.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah. See there, guys. She didn't know. Dolly.
Oh, wow. Cool. I got you, Jimmy.
Hey.
Spirit Whisperer, as you call me, but really Julia. So freaking, like, upset that all these kids are, like, going missing. And, you know, it's like, it's getting worse day by day. But however, like, I'm, like, mind blown because, like, I want to stop these monsters before they can do it. And I literally, like, used AI. And my brother, my witness, because, like, he calls me a witch and shit. He hates all the things I do.
Uh-huh.
But I just tried AI, and I'm like, you know, to see if I could figure out who the next kid would be in danger. And I asked random state. You know, AI gave me a random state. It's Florida. It's freaking crazy. And I'm like, okay, well, give me a random age between 1 and 18. They told me 13. However, I asked for a random name. It's Samantha. You know, and this girl's name is not Samantha.
Okay, so
I'd like to know.
So you're asking AI who the next kid is.
Yeah. And I didn't put it out like a warning because, like, I want to try to stop these monsters. I mean, I have like an idea with, like, you know, making a map, and I have these crystals.
So you think the Matrix knows who?
Well, I think the God has to do with everything, and I don't really think that the Matrix can do it. Like, I was like doing a shortcut because I have this idea, like, you know, to throw some stones on a map and kind of see, but I wanted to see how AI would do.
Okay, when
and
you break out the chicken
mind blown about it.
When you break out the chicken bones, I'm gonna have to stop talking to you.
Well, I'm sorry. I want to be like, I see horrible things, you know, when these things happen and I'm, you know, aware of it, I can like see what happened to them, you know, these children, like I take it personal.
Yeah.
And like my whole life, I'm like, I want to see something before it happens. You know what I mean?
Okay. People are asking what you're talking about. Let me explain it to them. She says she's trying to predict the next child that could go missing to try to stop these monsters before they could do it. So she's using AI and crystals and things like that to try to predict what's coming. Is that right? Am I correct?
Before it can happen, yes.
Before it can happen.
And yeah, like I see this case, and I mean, I'm heartbroken, but I'm getting ready to run over to my brother's and throw it in his face. He's like the only one. Like, I was doing this, like I was making dinner, and I'm like, hey, like I'll take a shortcut because I haven't drawn a map to do this yet. You know, because I got this idea, and I'm like, well, I'll check out AI because I know that, like,
I'll tell you this, try this, right? Get you some Yahtzee dice, roll them.
Well, that can work too.
Listen,
Anything can work like that. But what I'm saying in
roll the
cards,
dice, right? And then take the numbers and use them as longitude and latitude numbers, and you might be able to predict where the next kid's going missing.
exactly. Yes, I've already thought that.
There you go.
Like that's a great idea. But I'm thinking, I could probably make a program with AI, that like pulls up shit like Brandonautica. I mean, at least be able to put out a warning, say, like I swear to God, I feel so horrible. Like I wish I would have like did something with this whole Florida thing.
Say you got a name from AI. Just entertain this for a minute, chat.
Yeah, see, they said Samantha, and it's not Samantha.
Say we call Samantha. We find Samantha's name. We call her up and be like, Samantha, you're in danger, right? Do you think Samantha would believe you, or do you think she would say, "Woman, you crazy? Stop calling my damn phone"?
Honey, I don't think that I can predict it down to that. Obviously, I said a random name because I was trying to really figure out boy or girl. I was like, boy or girl, and AI wouldn't answer me that. Like it wasn't like it could just tell me that. So I just said random name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But first it said, because I'm like a random, age between 1 and 18, and this is 13, and it was a girl in Florida. I said random state, and I want to know if this guy had like a Mustang, because I'm like random car, because I'm like, what's the perpetrator driving?
Okay.
I have yet to see that.
Well, when you figure this out, you definitely let me know. But look, hey, I appreciate you calling in.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to PJ because the last few times I haven't. And I know women make the world go round, and without her, a lot of the shit you do, probably you couldn't.
Okay. All right. That's true. That is definitely true. So you have a good one.
Hold your babies tight, and don't just trust anybody with your kids.
Definitely not.
Women out here are so stupid.
For sure.
God bless you, and God bless everyone.
All right. Peace.
Be praying for me.
Okay. I don't know if that was Steven Spielberg's daughter, but that'd be a good movie. Okay. Let's stop crime before it happens. They got a movie called Loopers. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, what a day to run out of blood pressure medicine. This has me crazy hot.
I wasn't expecting the information to come out. I was like, I hope the police are forthcoming. They're like, she's dead. I mean, it don't get much forthcoming than that.
I know. I was really, really hoping that she was going to be a runaway, honestly. But I'm telling you now, that mom, in my opinion, I think that mom knew. I think she was covering for him. I think mom turned a blind eye in order to have that man stay in her life.
So many.
She had no emotion when she was doing that. She had fake tears the whole time she was doing that press conference. And that was the day after. They would have had to like sedate me. Like literally sedate me.
So calm about her daughter being missing. And then when she said, and if you got her, let her go, bring her, let her come home. And she like not even a drop of tear came out her eye. Not like you being an eye book. Some crust didn't even fall out.
No emotion at all. And I'm sorry. I don't care how calm a person you are. When your child is missing, you're going to panic. Especially a child of 13.
And why wait so long to call the police?
And I'm just going to be honest. They waited too long to call the police. Somebody, if that was them in that vehicle that dropped off her supposedly at the church parking lot.
They wasn't her in the church parking lot. They're saying now.
But was that their car though? Was that their car?
No.
If that was their car, somebody had to help him.
No, what I'm saying is the car was never there. He never went to the school. The reason they said they dropped her off down the block is because the car probably wouldn't have been on tape. The car was never there in front of the school because the school got cameras on it. So
and the church has cameras.
Yes,
but
the car wasn't never called. It was just a girl in the church video, and it was grainy. But they say they have video evidence right now of her deceased in the car. They said she was in the vehicle, but they believe she was deceased at that time.
I'm telling you, that mom knew, and I'm sick. And trigger warning for this. I hate to say it like this, but I think that birthday was something that I think him and the mom both said at 13, when you turn 13, you're going to be a woman. And that's when we're going to do everything we want to do. And that's when she wanted to run away. And honestly, I think that's what happened. I think she fought back, or it went too far and she was killed. Yeah. Honestly. And I hate to say it that way, but that's just the way I think about it. Because the mom kept saying in the press conference, but she was so happy. Look at her smile in the pictures on her birthday.
She definitely wasn't happy. She
wasn't happy.
No.
Like, no, I'm sorry, but no, mom knew. In my opinion, mom knew. Mom was complacent if mom wasn't a participant. There are sick women out there as well. I'm sorry, but there are sick women out there that will participate in that just the same as a man will, just to keep a man in their life.
Yeah, I believe
And
that
I'm
too.
sorry.
I've heard women tell those horror stories that their mom did nothing to help them, why things happened to them, and just turn a blind eye or say they're lying or even tell them not to tell. You know,
Or even participate. There are women that are out there that will participate in it.
yeah, I know. I've heard some horror stories
And it's
about that too, that
disgusting.
we've covered here about mothers meeting convicts and then doing things with. It's horrible. Hey,
It's horrible.
I appreciate you calling in.
Okay, thank you. Have a great day.
You have a
And
good-
everybody, hug your babies. Hug your babies and protect them. No piece of booty is worth any of that. And
Yeah,
love on your babies.
that's right. You have a good one.
All right.
This is the thing. It's never too. You can sit down with your kids today and say, "Hey, is there anything going on that we need to know?" Or like, you have any problems? Talk to your kids, people. Just talk to your kids. It goes a long ways. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey, Granny.
When is all this going to stop?
I have no clue, but I don't think it's anytime soon.
I think we need to bring back lynch mobs myself. I really do. It's the only way.
The good
The
thing,
law.
the only good thing in this is that these police lately, they've been catching the people like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's a day late and a dollar short.
Yeah, I know. We ain't got no way to, predict the future. So, like that girl's trying to do. You hear the caller call in,
I don't know what she's been smoking. My weed
I think
don't
her
do me
sleep-
that way.
I think her sleepy time medicine's just wearing off from last night. She's just waking up and it's still kind of wearing off.
That's like by numbers. I don't agree with all that.
You never
But you
know,
know
that
what?
Da Vinci Code might be real.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe
But
we live in the Matrix.
that's neither here nor there. But I would really love to get my hands on these guys. My God.
I would love for you to get your hands on these guys, Granny. I wish we could just do that. We'd like let Granny
I'd
take care of it.
string them up. I'd use him as a dang pinata. Oh, my Lord.
With a baseball bat with nails in it.
My cane in there. Papa brought me a special cane.
Mhm.
And inside that cane, it's a sword. You can hit a button
Uh-huh.
and pull the sword out. Oh, man.
Oh,
Hang 'em
whoa,
up for
Ninja
me.
Granny.
But I tell you what, I do believe the girl's mother knew. She turned a blind eye.
Oh,
And yes, she needs some time. She needs to be arrested. She can never feel bad enough for me. I'm sorry.
but what did they
But
arrest this woman and she had no clue, Granny?
No, I don't believe that. I'm sorry. She should have made it a point to know. She's turned a blind eye. I don't know. Did she ever talk to the girl and ask her, do you like him? He hasn't bothered you, has he? If he has, tell me, and I will make it stop. I'll put him on the road real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if she ever said, we won't know. That's my thing. We don't know if she ever went to her mom for help. What if she never did and she just never knew? We heard that lady call in and say she was married and she was married to a monster and he was doing stuff while she was asleep.
I tell you what, Dolly, I have always known in my house who was in the bed with who.
Uh-huh.
You know, I don't buy that. I always knew when Papa got up to go to the bathroom, but he's a kind, gentle man. He would never do anything like that.
Uh-huh.
But I always knew who was in the bed with who.
Yeah.
And she's making excuses. It was her job to know that her daughter was safe. Nobody else's but hers. And she failed. She needs to go to jail.
How long
But I
do you
tell you
think?
what.
How long do you think she should do in jail, Granny? If you was a judge, how long would you give this woman in jail?
I'd give her 10 years. And
10
she'd at
years.
least have to should at least have to serve 5 of those.
Okay, I was thinking
Before-
5 years. If I was to say, okay, you're neglectful, I would think 5 years.
Neglectful. She turned a blind eye. There are signs. She did not look for the signs.
Send it to me, PJ.
She did not ask this child. But I tell you what, I have really thought about this. This is really getting to me. What would be worse than me, the mother of one of these children? And I sat and I thought and thought and I thought, oh my God, to be the mother of someone that would do something like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's probably pretty painful.
I think I would kill him.
I mean, you know, like it's just like, you know, serial killers. Like I'm sure Ted Bundy's mom and dad wasn't bad people. They just gave birth to a monster because each person's their own individual and their own soul. You know, you hope that it has a little bit of your traits, but it could become a monster or become a saint. You just never know.
You never know. But you know what? My son has a gentle spirit. Oh my goodness. He's raised 2 children that wasn't even his. They call him Dad. And then he's got the girls. But and they're his. But Lord God, you don't want to do nothing to them girls. He kills you.
Well, I just think
You don't want to do nothing to his boys. Because they'll stay, I mean, one of them is like 23 and the other one's 20. They'll stand shoulder to shoulder. They will fight you.
I just believe that we're born little sponges and we're products of our environment. And if we consume a lot of love, when you squeeze us, we'll give a lot of love out. If we consume
right.
a lot of hate, and when you squeeze that sponge, all that's going to come out of it is hate.
That's right. And I am so thankful that Daniel accepted those 2 boys. They didn't have anything to do with their father.
Uh-huh.
Daniel was dead. And I am so proud of him. He has raised 4 fine children. This just upsets me. Why in the heck did she never ask this guy or this girl, this baby girl of hers, if she liked the guy and said, you know what? I'm going to ask you something. Has he ever bothered you?
Yeah.
I mean,
I would think you
my
would
mother
have those
did.
discussions. Yeah, I would think you would have those discussions with your kids around, you know, if anybody touches you, let me know. Anybody says anything inappropriate to you, let me know. You know, that's those things you tell your kids, and you know that you're not going to get mad at them, that they can tell you anything. You just got to have a good relationship with your child. That's the only way you're going to know.
I tell you what, a boy was bothering my daughter in high school, coming out there, and he was in the road. We lived right beside the school. He was in the road, and he was grabbing himself, hollering, come on out here, Shannon, I want to talk to you. And my son told me. She didn't tell me.
Uh-huh.
And I stayed awake just about all night thinking about it. And I sent Papa on to work because he'll kill somebody. So I get my fighting boots on.
Your fighting boots.
And yeah, sent Shannon and Daniel on to school. And then I mosey on out there. But before I did that, I went and got the police and brought them with me. I figured they was going to call them anyway.
Yeah.
So I just swing by and they could follow me. All hell broke loose in that high school. We have got to protect our children. God, give them some common sense.
Preach it, Granny.
It's just, I get so tired of this time and time again. And it's time to bring back lynchings. Don't put him in jail. Turn him over to people like us. We'll take care of it. It's
Yeah.
just, so, it's time.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate you calling in, Granny. You be good.
You're welcome. You take care and watch that Top Notch.
Definitely. All right.
Bye.
Peace. All right, I'm going to close the phone line for 1 second. We're going to jump into a little bit of this interview with the mother. So a lot of, you know, we want to see now that we know what happened. You can honestly see how strange this mother's like nonchalantly acting. So
Well, Monday morning, we took her to school.
See, right
We
there.
dropped her off close to school.
Monday morning, we took her to school. We dropped her off close to the school. We should probably be in jail. Okay. I mean, look, I don't know. I'm not trying to put this on this lady because look, she could be like the caller. We heard that caller call in and you could tell her heart was broken about what happened to her stepdaughter. And she had no clue. Okay. She had no clue that that was happening. He was doing it when she wasn't around. He was doing it when she was asleep. He was a monster. She married a monster. And she said the dude was a wonderful husband. Great guy. Seemed like the best dude in the world. Sometimes the wolf is the one in sheep's clothing. It's just facts.
Across the street from a church, which is it's right next to the school.
And sometimes if it looks like a wolf, it's a wolf. Okay.
She crossed the street, and walked to school. What we thought walked to school.
What
my
we
boyfriend who drove her.
It's a lot of we. It's a lot of we in this, guys. Okay. Either she's from France or she's involved. There's we. Now, I don't know if this dude's, made her say what she's saying because he's kind of sitting behind her but it's a lot of we going on. And then right here he goes, well, he took her to school. But in the beginning it was we this, we that, we this. How could all this we be going on and you don't know what's going on with your daughter? It's a little hard. It's just like, it just makes me a little suspicious of you. I ain't saying you have anything to do with it. You could have no knowledge and be just an innocent victim. And this is terrible. And you're going through the worst thing any mother in the world could go through.
Her to school, drove away at that point. It was seen on video footage that she hung out in the parking lot of the.
No, that we find out now today, that is not true. She didn't hang out in there. The police believe she's deceased, that she never went to school, that at 7:30 a.m., Stephan Sterns was seen throwing her book bag and her computer in the dumpster, and she was on video in a vehicle, and the police believe she was deceased at the time that she was seen on video. They have video evidence, and this is what led him to believe, the police to believe, that this girl is no longer with us, that she's deceased. They're looking for her body. It is a recovery mission at this time.
The church for a few minutes and then got up and walked towards the school. But she never made it that walk and that was around 9 a.m. when she got up. She never made it to school after that. It's right next to the school. I don't know why she's
lying here. She is definitely lying because look, at 7:30, the dude you see in the back of this video right here was throwing this little girl's book bag and school issued computer in the trash. Okay. In the dumpster of the apartments they live in. He's on video throwing her in a dumpster. Also, they're saying there's video evidence that she's in a vehicle and they believe she is deceased in the vehicle. But that what they don't tell us is they probably have him on video carrying her to the vehicle. If she's deceased in the vehicle, she didn't walk to the vehicle, and they have the video. They say they have the video. They have video evidence that made them determine that this little girl is deceased, and it is a recovery mission. So this man is an absolute monster. Right now, he's charged with the capital sexual assault, the capital SA, and that's because it is a victim under the age of 12. Celebrate is what they use to retrieve the data off of his cell phone. And we've been hearing that a lot in a lot of court cases. The Karen Reed stuff, all of these people that are getting their phones snatched. The police are snatching your phones instantly anytime there's a crime, major crime, or missing person these days, which is a good way to catch people. But they were able to retrieve these videos that show really graphic things of his private parts. They were able to describe it, say his private parts are the same, but they don't tell the name of the victim, but we know who the victim is. So he was done at that point. Rest in peace to little Maddie Soto. Wow. What heartbreaking news. I'm thinking I want the police to be forthcoming. I wasn't prepared for that. That was forthcoming. That was the saddest news you could get. And he didn't beat around the bush to deliver the news to you. Nothing. He was like, okay, we had to deliver the, and it was just right off the rip. The police said this little girl is dead. We're trying to find her body. We're still looking for some of the areas he may have been in. And a lot of people are saying there's a lot of swamps there. I've never been to Orlando, so I truly don't know. I've been to Florida, but I've been to like Jacksonville, Miami, Daytona. I have never been on that part of Florida. So I don't know about the gators, and I have been to the Dismal Swamp. Not the Dismal Swamp. What is it? Is that what it is? No, I don't know what's the Everglades. The Everglades. I've been to the Everglades where all the damn alligators are. But I don't know how far where land. I don't really know Florida that well. So hopefully he didn't go feed this girl to no gators or anything like that. That would be horrible. I don't know what's with these monsters here lately.
Didn't make it. I don't know if something happened on her walk along the way or if she got taken.
Guys, there's over 1,000 of you here in the room with me. Do me a quick favor before we get going with this video. And I'll, of course, I'll pull the press conference back up for you guys that just tuned in a minute. Hit the like on this video, please, if you could for me. Thank you. Let's see if we can get me to 1,000 likes.
But she never made it.
That way the algorithm shows.
And that was
my
the
face.
last anyone's seen of her or heard from her?
Swamp everywhere.
I went to pick her up after school.
614 likes.
And she wasn't there. So I started driving around, maybe thinking she took a walk. Maybe she decided to walk to my mom's office, which is pretty close to the school as well. Drove around and I didn't see anything. I drove back to the school. The school was closed. I emailed one of her teachers. They confirmed that she was absent all day. At that point is when I called 911 because I realized.
So she waited till like 8 o'clock at night to call 911. Okay. Your daughter never went to school. You never seen your daughter that whole day. The police say she was dead by 7:30 that morning. Okay. You never seen that kid, nothing that day. I just find what she's saying a little odd. I don't know if anybody else is finding this odd, but I find it a little odd. The lack of emotion that the police are saying she was deceased the day before or that night, but you could have never seen your daughter that morning. Okay. Where are the tears? Why ain't she shaking? Nothing. I agree, Dumpling. I mean, some people are just emotionless, but I don't know. It just seems odd.
Something was truly wrong.
Have you heard from like any of her friends? Has she been active on any social media?
She hasn't been active on social media. None of her chats, none of her games. We did contact all her friends.
And look at this monster behind her. He knows he's killed this little girl. Okay. He's done hit her body. He's done threw her a laptop and book bag in the dumpster outside the apartments. He's on video doing these horrible things to her. Oh my God. He went from no criminal record to the worst thing you could ever do in the world. This dude has no priors. Now he's a murderer. He SA'd this little girl and videoed it. And he's done took her life and slung her stuff in the trash like she was nothing. Now, a lot of people are going in on the mom because the mom's story don't add up. The lack of emotion. A lot of people believe this lady has turned a blind eye to her child and has caused her child's life. Wow. What a heart-wrenching, heartbreaking story. Like, man.
None of them had seen her Monday or heard from her.
If they didn't suck the hope out the room quick today in that press conference, right? Like everybody had hope. We were all happy thinking, man, maybe they found her. This is a quick, this is quick for them to do a press conference today. And then boom, they sucked the life right out the room. If you have it, send it to me on Facebook, that clip, or PJ, ask PJ to find it and she'll send it to me.
Yeah, there's no update.
See, she just don't seem super
And I have to ask
upset.
this, and I know I hate doing it, but is she the type that would run away? Has this happened in the past or anything? Has she ever threatened to run away?
Never. She's never ever mentioned anything like this before, and she's not the type to want to do this. She did accidentally leave her phone on Monday. Which
Nancy will be all over this, mom. Hang on. Yes. Where were the parents? Aunt Nancy ain't going to play with this lady, right? She's going to say some mean things. I don't think we're going to see this lady on Aunt Nancy's show. That's for sure, because Nancy will probably have some terrible things to say. Look, I'm going to be nice. I don't know the background of the lady. I don't know the situation. There's a possibility she may not have known, but I know this. She does do a little bit of lying right here in this interview. She says, we this, we that, we this, we that. And then she goes, he took her to school. It just, the lack of emotion, the changing up of the story, I don't know. It's really suspect to me. You know, this lady could be a completely innocent victim going through the worst thing in her life, or she could be like what some of you guys think, and she turned a blind eye and allowed her child to be abused. I mean, I don't really know. It's a terrible world we live in. I just really don't. I don't know.
Which is kind of normal for her. She's got ADHD and very forgetful. So she left her phone at home, so there's no way to trace her. They tried tracing her school laptop, but that's off, so it's not pinging to anything.
Jen, what is your fear? I know you mentioned she's on games and stuff.
Oh, well, that's what they told you, because they got that laptop. They found that laptop. That laptop was in the dumpster of their apartments in her book bag. They also have him on video with her in the vehicle, and they believe at the time she was deceased. So this lady, I think she's lying a little bit, guys. I do. I truly do think she's lying a little bit. I think she may know this dude did something to her kid. Crazy as that sounds, I could be completely wrong though.
Do you think she could have
I'm
met
50-50.
somebody and tried to meet up with them?
She's open to us. She's open with us about, if she's got a crush with anyone, and she told us she had a crush on someone at school. And I looked at their messages. Nothing was weird. I looked at all of her messages, all of her deleted messages. Nothing seemed weird. It didn't seem like she was talking to anyone. So I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like she may have been taken, because this is not like
She
her at
was
all.
definitely
She just disappear
taken.
and not let us know where she's going or who she's with.
She was taken by that POS behind you right there. And he knows where she's at. And he lawyered up and ain't talking. What a monster. This lady, you got to pay attention to your kids. You got to listen to your kids. She said she went through her stuff and she was open to her. If she was so open, she didn't tell you not one time about none of this abuse, right? The kid was open with you. She didn't ever one time say, your boyfriend over there is doing horrible things to me. I find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
What are you getting from law enforcement? Are they actively searching for her? I mean, what happens now? I mean, especially that she doesn't have her phone with her.
So as far as I know,
Hold on 1 second. This is the interview with, hold on. What is this? PJ just sent me this. So let's jump over to this. This is him arrested in connection. Is this the perp walk video? Or him crying? He was moved today. Oh, okay. This is him being moved.
Stephan, where's Maddie? Did you hurt her? Are you a pedophile?
Go ahead.
What's on your cell phone?
This-
Why aren't you talking to investigators? Where was Maddie last scene. Why aren't you helping her mother and her family? This is a little girl. Help them find Maddie. Where is Maddie? Where is she? What did you do with her? Tell us something.
I like that lady. Okay. All right. I like that chick. She fired off questions. Listen to these questions she asked. She didn't play. She was like, she had a list written down. She's like, I'm going to hit him with everything. That's what I would have done too. You killer. Alleged killer. You see something, you got to say something. I don't see how anybody.
Maddie? Did you hurt her? Are you a pedophile? What's on your cell phone? Why aren't you talking to investigators? Where was Maddie last seen? Why aren't you helping her mother and her family?
Look, he's trying not to look over that way. Oh, look at the cameras, man. We want to see your face. We know you're a monster. We know you're a monster now. You may not look like a monster, but you are definitely a monster. And that reporter is the best reporter ever. Okay. She needs to win an award for the question she asked him when he got out that car. You go. All right. We need more reporters like that. Give her a job.
Family. This is a little girl. Help them find Maddie. Where is Maddie? Where is she? What did you do with her?
That woman didn't even breathe between questions. Okay. She fired him off so fast. She didn't even take a breath. You won't even hear her breathe.
Stephan, where's Maddie? Did you hurt her? Are you a pedophile? What's on your cell phone? Why aren't you talking to investigators? Where was Maddie last seen?
Usually when you ask the person a question, you're supposed to give them time to respond, but she knew he wasn't going to respond. So she just like, yeah, I'm getting through this list. I was told to ask him all this stuff, and I'm asking him everything on the list, right? She did a good job.
Why aren't you helping her mother and her family? This is a little girl. Help them find Maddie. Where is Maddie?
They need to right now to be putting him in a cell with a dude named Bubba, or it's the worst inmate they got. They need to go around to the jail and be like, well, who is the worst inmate we got in here? And they need to stuff him in the cell right with that dude. This dude, listen, he's never been in trouble. He ain't like some career criminal like Stephen McDougal. He's probably never been to jail because he got no priors. Now he's a murderer, the big R. He's going away for the rest of his human life. Okay. And he looks pretty frail. He looks scared. He looks like a victim. What he did to that little girl, when he gets to prison, I hope all that stuff happens to him. And they got video, they got phones, and I hope somebody videotapes it. Okay. I hope they make him carry around the phones in his man purse. He is going to be the human man purse when he gets to prison. Okay. They're going to change his name to Satchel. That's going to be his prison name. This dude has it coming. He's committed horrible crimes against a kid. He ain't some big bad dude. He's not a gang guy like we seen the last dude, like people are like, he'll get prison justice. I'm like, no, I think that's the dude that usually gives out the prison justice. Right. So this is a whole different animal right here. This dude ain't Stephen McDougal. Stephen McDougal looked like he could survive well in prison. That's why I said there's no justice in the Audrey Cunningham stuff, because Stephen McDougal is a gang dude from prison. So he's just going home. You just sent this dude home. This dude is going to be a victim to like somebody like Stephen McDougal. He's going to go in there. He ain't been in prison, and he's going to be carrying around stuff in his man purse. Let's just say that.
Where is she? What did you do with her? Tell us something.
Okay, so like I said, they moved him today, and that was the video of them moving them. And
13-year-old Maddie Soto has been missing since.
And a lot of people, are going crazy about this interview that the mom did, saying that she lied with the, we did this, we did that, and then he took her to school. If she was already dead at 7:30, okay, and if you're just tuning in, okay, guys, I hate to be the one to give you bad news, but we got it pretty brief quickly. The little girl is dead, okay? They have evidence, video evidence, that Stephan Sterns, the man we were just watching, has killed this little girl and has disposed of her body. All right. We learned that at 1:00 today when the press conference came out. This is the interview with the mother. People think the mother should be charged with something, or has some knowledge of what may have went down, because now that we know what happened, we're looking back at her interview and it's not lining up with what the police are saying. They never took her to school. Her book bag, the reason her computer didn't ping is because it was in a dumpster outside the apartments. So I'm sorry to want to be able to bring you that sad news this morning if you're just tuning in and haven't heard the outcome of Maddie Soto. Another tragic story. Last week we had Audrey Cunningham. She ended up by, Bridge 59, tied to a rock, swirling around in the water. Texas EquuSearch had to find that little girl. Now, a week later, we in the same exact situation. Another little girl, another monster in the home. He's incarcerated, not telling where the baby's at. And let me tell you, 13 years old is a baby to me. I mean, shit, 18 years old, you're still a baby. That is a small, small child. And this little girl wanted nothing more than to get away from the monsters she was around. It is a tragic, tragic story. When you see kids that want to get away, you got to ask them why. Why do you want to leave your parents? Most kids love their parents unconditionally. If you want to get away from your parents, there's something majorly wrong going on in that house. Look, a lot of people think physical abuse, but sometimes mental abuse is the worst type of abuse. I'd rather somebody slap the shit out of me one time than aggravate me or torture me for the next 3 months. Sometimes mental abuse is the worst. And if kids want to get away, it's either one or two things. Usually they're being abused physically or they're being abused mentally. And this little girl, I believe, was both. It's sad. It's super sad.
Conducting a search around the school, behind the school. There's a Shingle Creek. There's a wooded path area that you could walk. It's a hiking path. They are going back there with their canine dogs. They've taken a piece of her clothing to see if they can trace her scent. They're also taking their own vehicles. I'm not sure what type of vehicles, but they're going into the woods to search for her. But I don't feel like that's going to find anything.
Let me ask you guys this. Do you think the mother, and I don't mean this in no type of disrespect, do you think the mother is slightly on the spectrum? Press 1. I think this lady, because they say that Maddie may have been slightly. Do you think the mother may be slightly, and this may be why she's not really knowing what's going on 100% around her, maybe? Or she's lying? Press 2. Okay. I think she may be a little, let's just say not the sharpest in certain, avenues. Maybe. I'm trying to give this woman some benefit of the doubt of how these things could happen around her. A lot of people are saying she's just a liar around her and she not be aware of it. And listen, when these people that are on the spectrum, because I watch Love on a Spectrum, I really didn't know too much about this before the show, and that might not be a good way of judging it, but sometimes they don't show a lot of emotion in situations. to where I'm a super emotional person. I'm happy, I'm mad, I'm crying, I'm celebrating, all the whole thing. I got all them emotions, right? In one day. But, people that are on the spectrum, which I'm learning more about, sometimes they don't have that, they don't really have that emotional bond, which is strange. Because when I was watching Love on the Spectrum, you would think they would like each other, and they'd be like, I went to tell you I don't want to date you anymore. And I'd be like, what? Like so maybe they don't have that connection
thing right now. We've had people all day on that trail sending us photos to see if anything there looks familiar and like her personal belongings, and nothing is hers. So I'm not sure where to go from here. I'm just contacting the news to get the word out, to get some help, because I'm desperate. I'm a wreck right now.
So you think that she's been taken against her will?
I do think so, yes.
As a mom, what's your mother's intuition telling you right now?
I'm trying to hope for the best, but
that seems so fake.
I want her to be okay, and I want her to be safe. I don't want her to come back harmed. I just want her.
Did she just say, I don't want her to come back home? Did she say that? Did y'all hear that? I swear she said, I don't want her to come back home. I may be tripping, but I swear it sounded like she said, I don't want her to come back home. And the cry seems fake. She said harmed. I thought she said, I don't want her to come back home. Come back harmed. Okay. I might have just heard it wrong. I'm
back, whatever that means.
Hold on.
Safe. I don't want her to come back harmed.
Okay, did she say come back home or harmed? To me, it sounded like home, but it could have been harmed. I don't want her to come back harmed. It almost sounded like she said, I don't want her to come back home. And them are dry tears for sure. There's no doubt in my mind about that.
I just want her back, whatever that means. I just want her back.
Whatever that means.
Are you getting any update?
What did she wipe? She acted like she didn't even have a tear. She just wiped her dry face. Okay. That was a little bit of dry face wiping right there, just in case, that's like me wiping my face right now. We're like, oh, what? Let me wipe my face. There's no tear. What the hell am I wiping? Dead skin? What is she exfoliating right now? What is she doing? Gee, damn, she ain't wiping no tear off her eye, because there's no tear there. We're watching you. It's a close up. You're on camera. Usually to wipe a tear, you got to be crying, right? I didn't see her there was no lead up to the cry either. Like she was getting sad. She started crying. It's just like positive vibes. Thank you for being a member. I mean, we live in a world of dry tears. It's a new thing. Okay. Maybe they're invisible tears. Maybe she got that invisible tear stuff going on. I don't know. But anyway, she's wiping her dry face.
It's from law enforcement.
Both sides. Okay. She wiped a dry tear from both sides of each of her cheeks. Okay. There was no tear on the left side. There was no tear on the right side. But, she's just, she's just wiping it down just in case. That was a just in case wipe. Just in case she cries later, she don't have to wipe it. It's dry enough that it absorbs the tears. That's how dry her face is. Okay. When the tears leak out, they just absorb into her dry ass skin. There's no tears to wipe.
I mean, yes, they're searching that small area, but have they gotten any hits on any scent or anything like that?
They haven't let me know anything. They haven't updated me since I spoke to them this morning. I've contacted them to get some information or to give them some leads, but I've heard nothing back.
And Jen, there's no way that she, just being a teenager, was like, maybe had a fight with you or an argument with you and was like, you know what, I'm going to go hang out at so-and-so's house and teach her a lesson. Could that be a scenario?
I don't believe so. We actually haven't gotten into a fight in like a few weeks, or arguments, or anything like that. If anything, on Sunday, she celebrated her 13th birthday with my entire family, and she had the best day. She was so happy. She showed us all her gifts.
Like, see, she don't seem real sad. Like, look at her eyes. They're not even red. Okay. She was just wiping dry tears, you know. To cry, your eyes are usually red. They kind of swell up, and you know, tears. It's like these things called, like, they're like little water drops, you know, fluid from inside your body that comes out your eyelids in the corner, and it kind of rolls down your face, and it makes like this little water trail down your thing, and then it drips off your cheek. I don't see none of that going on. I just don't see it. Okay. It may have, like I said, it may have rolled back into her eyeball or something, into the back or something, but I don't see too many tears. That don't mean, listen, that don't mean she's done anything horrible. I don't want to sound like, you know, like I said, she could be not, no, there's the possibility. I know everybody thinks she's guilty as sin of turning a blind eye, but I don't know. I don't know the woman like that. She don't, you know, does she have a history of being a bad person or anything? I don't think so. So this just seems like two normal people, but one of them wasn't normal. He was a monster, and he's sitting back there. He seems really protective, like watching what she says, and we don't know the relationship. She don't seem to be abused. She don't look, you know, when I think abused, I think of damn Kayla Montgomery. Okay. She don't look abused. And it was a lot of we stuff. I don't know.
She's just a happy girl, and she showed it on Sunday night when she went to bed. She was so happy. So, you know, she had the best day.
And I'm going to open the phone lines back open.
There was no moment in that evening from when she got home from the party that she had her phone or had the laptop. She went straight to getting ready and went to bed. So I know she didn't have any conversations with anyone. She didn't make plans with anyone. I didn't see any of that.
You didn't see a lot.
So she's spent the whole Sunday celebrating her 13th birthday. Was her 13th birthday on that Sunday, or that was just like the time you guys were celebrating?
That was the time we were celebrating. Her birthday was on Thursday, the 22nd.
Okay,
she just turned 13.
All right, let's take this call. Dolly.
I'm sorry, bro. I forgot to tell you where I believe she's at. Okay. I believe it happened the night before, and I think I see it Orange Grove. It's like 11 miles past her house and in a swamp.
Okay, 11 miles past a house in a swamp.
Yeah. And like, I don't want to make money off this. I hate money. Like the thing I'm talking about, you know, predicting, like that's something that like I need to do something, you know, and I wouldn't throw chicken bones. I'm a vegetarian.
Okay. You don't throw chicken bones because you're a vegetarian, but if you would, you would sling chicken bones.
To my dog. But I mean, I'm very serious about that. And I mean, the whole thing with dice, that's pretty smart too. A lot of times I think that like you're connected to spirit because a lot of shit that comes out of your mouth, it's like directly like,
I watch Young Guns like 100 times. We're in the spirit world, asshole. That's how I'm connected.
I mean, we're all connected, believe it or not. And I'm not just talking out my ass here. This is something like I've dreamed about since I was a kid, you know, being able to like stop these monsters. You know, I mean, I wouldn't like, I've never made money off the shit I do. The things I do for free. You know, I can help people see that there's more to this world. But if I could help even one kid, it'd be worth it, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, I wanted to tell you that because last time I forgot to tell you where I believed Audrey was, and she was exactly where I said. And, like I got told I was being disrespectful by saying she was way down by a rock, but sure enough, she was.
Okay.
Anyway, peace out, bro.
All right, Nostradamus, you be good.
Thanks, brother.
All right, peace. All right, that was Mr. Nostradamus there. And she, you know, she has a prediction. Her prediction is this little girl's 11 miles from the house in a swamp. Now, if she's right, we're going to be like, damn, okay? If she's wrong, we're going to be like, yeah, we knew that girl was crazy as hell. But if she's right, y'all going to start calling her 1-900 number. Be like, let me call this Miss Nostradamus and see what's going on. Miss Predict the Future. Miss Throw some chicken bones, okay? She be knowing. She be knowing. all jokes aside, I'm just trying to lighten the mood a little bit because it's really horrible. Girl just turned 13 years old. She wanted to get out that house. She's living with the big P word, and man, and there's so many kids. There's so many kids in the same situation right now that can't say nothing, right? We don't know if he threatened to unalive her mama if she said anything. Look, these people we're dealing with like this are sick, deranged. I could go on and on, and you never know what he was saying to this little girl to make her scared. Dolly,
Sully P.
What's up?
From Boston, Pat Sully. How you doing, sir?
I'm living.
Hey,
Bad news
I
today.
hear you. Yeah, no, thanks for having me on and taking the call. I thinking about this, I watched your lives. I go to bed kind of early. I'm up real early, and watching a couple of your other lives, it just doesn't make sense how it's going down. Where I've got 4 kids and 3 daughters, and my youngest is 13, and she takes that phone everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. She takes it to school. And there's a lot of creepos out there, and especially like you said, she might have met this guy at a bar or somewhere. He made hey, let me come back, and then before you know it, you know how long they're in the relationship with the boyfriend?
They'd say it's years that she'd been with him for years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So this has
So
probably been going on for a long time.
So there's a lot of trust there. And you also brought up a good point where when she did the interview right there, and she was saying we. So it looks like that she doesn't want to believe that, well, at the time,
She loves this
boyfriend-
man, even though he's a monster. Even Kayla Montgomery. She loved Adam Montgomery, and she watched Adam Montgomery beat his daughter to death, and she loved that man. Even in court, said she loved him.
Well, yeah. Afterwards, she was clean. So maybe, I don't know. I believe she was on methadone in court and all that other stuff. But if there's some heavy drugs involved, then do you know if there's drugs involved on this in this case?
I don't know. This lady don't look like a drug addict. She don't look strung out, and he don't really look strung out. He's pretty clean cut. I mean, his beard looks trimmed up, his hair looks trimmed, combed. You know what I'm saying? He don't look dirty. He don't look haggard. So that don't mean he's not on drugs. It just means he has money to buy drugs. That's what that means.
Just trying to put it all together. Yeah, just trying to put it all together. Now, her not bringing the phone to school, and maybe, do you think her mom saw her messages that she wanted to live in the woods when she turned 13?
Yeah. She definitely wanted to live in the woods, and there had to be a reason for that.
Hopefully she's at a friend's house. So
all
right, I'm gonna pop off and listen to the other callers. But thank you so much, my man. I'll
all
talk
right.
to you soon.
All right, peace. All right, I'm about to pull this video up real quick, guys. Hold on the calls for 1 second. All right. Let me see what this is that was just sent to me. All right, I think it's a video, but I can't tell. Oh, okay. Hold on.
Battery. And deputies continue the search for this missing 13-year-old girl. Madeline
Let me pull this
Soto
over here.
was last seen on Monday. Good evening. I'm Christopher Heath.
I'm Darlene Jones. Deputies arrested her mother's boyfriend, who you see here, 37-year-old Stephan Sterns, yesterday for sexual battery and possession of child sex abuse material. We have live team coverage on this major story tonight. Channel 9's Ashlyn Webb has been digging through the documents related to his arrest. Ashlyn is live outside of the Orange County Jail, where he's now being held. And Ashlyn, you learned from investigators that it was his cell phone that led to this arrest.
Yeah, and the big red flag here is that law enforcement say Stephan Sterns actually did a factory reset on his phone the day Madeline disappeared.
Day before, right?
Able to get crucial evidence off that phone that led to his arrest. Today, we did a deep dive into his background and also how long he and Madeline Soto's mother have been in a relationship.
Okay, here we go.
Sorting through records and also speaking to his family and her family. This is what we know.
It's a living nightmare.
Yeah, fake
$600
crime.
any other.
Just a day before Stephan Sterns was arrested for sexual battery and possession of child sex abuse material.
Okay, let me tell you something that's super suspect. If a man is sitting there crying, a bearded man is sitting there crying, and it's not his child, Sully, thank you so much, man. Thanks for taking my call. No problem, bro. Mad love to you. Virtual hugs. Well, bro daps. How about that? If a bearded man is sitting there crying about a daughter that ain't his, okay, that is suspect right there, just alone. And look, the mother is comforting him. He should be comforting the mother right now. Okay, PJ has a daughter. If PJ's daughter was missing, I'd be hugging PJ. I'd be telling her, come on, we're going to find you. Everything's going to be okay. I would have to be the rock to hold shit together, right? Not he's, there ain't no other word to say it. He's the bitch. He's acting like a bitch. Like he's the woman in the relationship. She's over there it's going to be okay, baby. She's going to be, and it's her daughter. If that ain't suspect, right? If that ain't suspect, there's nothing that's suspect. He shouldn't be acting like this. He's acting strange. That is strange. Anybody agree with me on this? If you agree with me, hit the like on this video. This is suspect. If this is suspect to you, get a damn video like. We should have 1,200 likes because 1,200 people should say, yeah, this is definitely suspect. This is a grown ass, big ass, bearded man laying there. He's sobbing, and the mother is rubbing his shoulders going, it's going to be all right. And it ain't even his damn kid. That wouldn't happen in my world, right? That wouldn't happen in my world. Because I know PJ would be destroyed, and I'd be destroyed trying to make sure PJ was okay. And this shit don't happen like this. What does he think he gonna win a damn Oscar?
He spoke to Channel 9, crying and pleading for help to find Madeline. He said he was the last person to see her, dropping her off at a church down the street from school. Now law enforcement is investigating what role he had in Madeline's disappearance and saying there were red flags while interviewing the family. According
do they know if she's deceased? Yes, they do know she's deceased. The police came out today at the press conference, and I will go back to the press conference because there's like 1,200 of you here now after this. They say they come out right off the bat and say she's dead. They have video evidence that she's in a vehicle. They believe she's deceased in the vehicle. They found her book bag. They found her computer in the dumpster, and they're just tracking his locations of where he went. And they're asking the public if they've seen him. Pocket change for CrimeCon. Yes, guys, we will be at CrimeCon 2024. Dolly Vision, baby. Come out and meet me. Okay. Nashville, May 31st through June 2nd. We have a booth down there. Come up, say hey to Dolly. I'll have some giveaways to give away. If you're in the Nashville area, come hang out with me. Okay. Me, PJ, and little Lolo will be there also. Justice for some of these people. We need to I believe we should all hand them lightning rods and stand them in a field during a storm and let God figure it out. Okay. If God zaps your ass, God didn't want you here. That way we don't have to execute people. We can wash our hands, the responsibility of it, and we just let God sort it all out.
to the arrest affidavit, family and friends said it was unusual for Madeline to be dropped.
I have not heard nothing about the bio dad. Okay. I don't know why the bio dad is not in this story. I don't know where the bio dad is. Anything about the bio dad. Does anybody in the chat room know? If you know anything about the bio dad, hit up the call-in number because I have no clue anything about the bio dad. I love the lightning rod plan. See, I knew somebody would agree that, see, look, let God figure it out. Okay. We don't have to be the executioner. We just take all murderers. Every time there's a big, electrical storm, we hand them a metal rod, we line them up, and we let little baby Jesus and God figure out which one needs to leave. Okay. But they need to leave some way or another, because apparently we can't figure out how to execute people. Idaho. Okay. Idaho just tried to execute Thomas Creech, and it didn't happen. They couldn't figure it out. Right. I'm thinking, man, I could have had that dude dead in 15 minutes, but they couldn't figure it out. So now he's not being executed. So I think the lightning rod for murderers is the best plan. Okay. If it's your time, it is your time. Hey, Dolly, have they found her body? Not yet. There was a news station that reported, they clickbaited their title and put that their body had been found, but no, the body ain't been found. Yes, the news will clickbait you. I hate to be the one to inform you that the news clickbait's worse than YouTubers. It's just the way, the nature of the beast these days. Clickbait the shit out of people, right? But they put body found. There's not been no body found. The police were live saying they hadn't found her body when they were posting the body was found. So no body. They're still asking for help from the public. They're still searching, but they do say she is deceased. She's no longer with us. They have video evidence of that leads them to believe she's deceased, that she was dead in the vehicle.
Down the street. When investigators interviewed Sterns, they asked to look at his phone, but he stated he accidentally performed a factory reset on the phone the day Madeline disappeared. Law enforcement was able to recover several photos and videos showing Stephan sexually battering a child. We spoke by phone to Sterns' father.
Look at them fake tears. Look at that. Look at that crying. She's holding him. That should have been the biggest red flag right there. The biggest red flag. Dude, you're a boyfriend. You're supposed to be comforting your girl, not the other way around. It just screams red flag to me.
Stephan Sterns, who said he was shocked by these developments.
Dry tears.
To speak to Jennifer Soto's mother today. She was not at home, but we spoke by Ring doorbell camera. She said Stephan Sterns and Jennifer Soto have been in a relationship for several years, adding that she is extremely worried about Madeline's safety, particularly after hearing what authorities found on Stephan Sterns' phone. As for a criminal history, Sterns is not a registered sex offender. In fact, this is the first time he's been booked in the Orange County jail.
Dang, that's the craziest thing right there. And this dude, look, I don't believe this is the first time he's done this. I believe he's done this. This is the first time he's been caught. Okay. This is the first time this man's been caught. There's no way he's in his 30s, 37 years old, and he woke up that morning and said, hey, I'm going to do this. No, he had been doing this. This dude, if you're a monster, you've been a monster. He didn't just become a monster overnight. So there's probably other kids, other women that have dated this man, that have children. You need to sit and talk with your kids. Okay. Just sit and talk with them. And I can tell you this, conversations, you'll be surprised what your kids will tell you when you sit down and talk to them. Especially when they're not scared there's going to be any repercussions coming from what they tell you.
We found no criminal history. The Orange County Sheriff's Office did confirm they were in Northport yesterday. Now, that is where Stephan Sterns' family lives. We also spoke to Northport police that said that it was specifically for this investigation. Reporting in Orange County, Ashlyn Webb, Channel 9, Eyewitness News.
Okay.
You could skip this ad, but don't skip the part that can help you get the job done.
Okay, hold on.
At Granger,
Things
we're
get
here
real
for you with
weird
supplies and
24
solutions.
hours into an acid trip. I mean, really.
All right, let me pause that. I don't know. I got all this stuff popping up. Hold on. Let me get back on track, guys. I mean, everything went crazy there for a second. It started playing damn Ralphie. Okay, this is just for the people that are tuning in right now, just getting in here. We're going to go back over this press conference one more time so everybody gets a chance to see exactly what the police said. And it's a quick one, so it don't take long.
Sure.
All right, let me back it up a little bit. Here we go. So this is the information the police gave today. If you're just tuning in, the latest official press conference. Not
So thank you for being here. We have some important developments in this case that we want to share with our community. I wish we were here to tell you that we have found Madeline, but we have not found her. Last night, detectives from the Kissimmee Police Department met with Madeline's mother, and they had to tell her the very devastating news that although we have not found Madeline, we are now confident that she is dead. So our efforts will be focused on recovering Madeline. Dozens and dozens of detectives, crime analysts, and specialized team members have been working nonstop and following up on every single lead and every shred of evidence. Our detectives have determined that Madeline was never dropped off on the morning of February 26th near her school. Instead, we believe she was already dead at the time and that Stephan Sterns moved her body in the early morning hours on that day. We have video evidence that shows Stephan Sterns discarding items in a dumpster in that apartment complex in Kissimmee at 7:35 on Monday, February 26th. Detectives later recovered Madeline's backpack and her school-issued laptop from that dumpster. At 8:19, we have evidence that shows Stephan Sterns returning to the complex and Madeline was visible in that vehicle. We believe she was already dead at that time. As a result of that, although the initial missing persons investigation started in Orange County, the Kissimmee Police Department will now be taking over the investigation and will become the lead agency. And of course, the Orange County Sheriff's Office, all of our support personnel will be available and will still be assisting in this investigation. So this time I'm going to turn it over to Chief Holland from the Kissimmee Police Department. Chief.
Thank you for being here. As Sheriff Mina said, this is still an active and ongoing investigation, and there is a lot of additional information that we cannot release at this time. I do want to note that Stephan Sterns was transported from the Orange County Jail to the Osceola County Jail, where he is being held on capital sexual battery charges filed by the Kissimmee Police detectives. Right now, our top priority is recovering Madeline. We are still appealing to our community for its help in this case. Please share this crime line bulletin.
See, this is the latest news. So if anybody's out there telling you, well, this was at 1 o'clock. So if anything's changed since 1 o'clock, but you know, people were out there clickbaiting with the title that they had recovered her. They do believe she's deceased, but they have not recovered her.
Bulletin on my right of Stephan Sterns. He was last seen driving a silver 2010 Lincoln MKZ. The Florida tag is IYLL82. On Monday, February 26th, between 1 and 2:30 p.m. in the area of State Road 192 and Old Hickory Tree Road.
Okay, remember they were saying that they dropped the kid off down the street because she was ashamed of the car? The car don't look that terribly bad. It's a Lincoln. Like, was she ashamed of it? I think that was a lie. You know, I think that was just completely a lie. The car ain't that bad.
Road, as well as Old Hickory Tree Road and Nolte Road. During this time frame, it is believed that Sterns had a flat tire and might have been seen changing the tire in this area. If anyone saw this vehicle or noticed anything suspicious, we're asking that they call Crime Line. We will continue to work tirelessly with the Orange County Sheriff's Office, the Osceola County Sheriff's Office, and St. Cloud Police Departments to bring a resolution to this case and recover Maddie. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Chief. We'll take some questions, but just remember, we're still in the middle of this investigation. There's a lot of things that we cannot reveal. No, Sterns has not spoken to anyone.
Yeah, they ain't even let him make a call yet. Oh, he was
the video evidence that we have. So we're not going to go into those exact details, but we have video evidence that leads us to believe that she's already dead.
Okay. To me, that means one of two things. if she's in the vehicle, she didn't walk to the vehicle. They have it on camera, so they have him on tape putting something in the vehicle, which is her. Okay. I mean, in so many words, he says he can't say it, but he tells you, okay, we have video of him putting her stuff in the dumpster at 7:30. We have video of her in the vehicle. So if they have video of her in the vehicle, that means they can see the vehicle. They would see her walk and get in the vehicle, or they would see him carry her. So I'm assuming they have on video Stephan Sterns carrying Maddie to the vehicle. That's what makes them think she was deceased. She didn't go on her own account.
This location in the afternoon, is there a belief, are we trying to figure out, I know you're requesting video surveillance that area, are you trying to figure out whether she was still with this car at that time?
Yeah, so it could be helpful to us if people saw something, and obviously, we're searching many different areas. But if someone saw something in that area, we want to know about it. What's that?
Where this car is at a flat, is that area you've already searched?
So we actually have people searching areas right now. So they've searched a bunch of different areas, and they're going to continue to search. So I don't want to go into specifics on exactly where. I don't want to miss something. One more time. I'm sorry. So what I'll say is what I already said is that
she was put into a vehicle. The video evidence they have shows her in a vehicle and him leave in that vehicle. Okay, so she was definitely in the vehicle. They say they don't go into why because they can't tell you, but she didn't walk to the vehicle if she was already deceased because they say they believe she was deceased. So they have a video of him carrying her to the car.
We believe he moved her body in those early morning hours, and all that is still under investigation.
So the mom could have never seen the baby. See, this is what is making the mama look like a liar, because it kind of goes against what they're saying. Eli, View, keep praying for this little boy. Definitely. And let's pray that there's something that goes down with that. I hear there's some stuff coming out that he may have been part of some trafficking. I'm not sure yet. And I kind of suspected that in the very beginning.
Yes, we're talking to the mother. Yes. So we're talking to the mother and all this. There's, to my knowledge, she's not a suspect in this case right now.
Right now, to his knowledge, he said, right now, the mother's not a suspect. Oh my Jesus. It's her story don't jive well. It don't mean she's lying. It just don't jive well. She didn't do anything. We didn't take her to school because she never went to school. So she's lying, technically.
You had mentioned that he dropped some items in the dumpster. Did you recover those?
That's correct. So from the dumpster, we recovered her backpack and her school issued laptop.
All right, let's take this call. Dolly.
Dolly,
Yes.
I have my own story I can tell you about these men.
All right. Who is this and where are you calling from?
Okay, I'm Janice.
Hey, Janice.
And I'm living in the same state you live in.
Okay.
Anyway, okay, I was in my 40s.
Yeah.
And I met a woman through work who was in her 60s. She was, very professional, everything.
Yeah.
Her husband died one February, and within the next month, she comes up with this boyfriend. And he's like in his 40s.
Uh-huh. And she's in her 60s?
Yes.
Okay.
And she was keeping her 2 grandchildren. One of them was a girl, one of them was a boy.
Uh-huh.
He moved in with her by December. And these men let me just tell you this. When he moved in with her, she told me it's not going to work
it's something wrong in the bedroom. She said it's not normal.
Uh-huh.
And anyway, so I started doing my research on the computer, and I found him out of Florida. He had absconded,
Uh-huh.
which means he had
You-
left. He was wanted for SO, and he had left Florida. And
Yeah.
I found his picture under a different name than he was telling her,
Uh-huh.
and, or I should say that she was telling me. She knew what he was,
Yeah.
but she fell for him. He was younger. He was charming her, and she didn't have any money. She needed money. He had a good job. She took him in. She fell in love with him. No, it didn't really matter what he did to the child.
Oh, so she just
But the
allows.
child had to get to be a certain age. These men like a certain age group.
Uh-huh.
So after I found him, I told her I had found him on the computer where he had absconded. She put me off about a week, and then she said, I went and looked. She said, I didn't see anything like that on the computer.
Uh-huh.
I said, well, it's on there. Well, I went and looked, and it was gone. So I called the state police. I told them, I said, look, this guy has absconded. This woman's got a little girl and a little boy that she's keeping regularly. I even called the children's parents.
Uh-huh.
Nothing happened. The state police, either they blew me off. She told me they came out there. But if they came out there, they just didn't take it serious, or she was able to talk them out of it or something.
Yeah.
And I also called the county police she was living in. Nothing was done. So when this girl reaches, this was years also. And the lady told me, she said, he's hanging on the computer all hours of the night. So she knew what he was doing. Evidently, there are some sites that these men can go to,
Uh-huh.
get themselves all wound up over these children.
Yeah.
And he was also in it with the guy down the street. But nothing happened to the guy down the street. Well, eventually, the boy goes off to school. The girl, they claim she had autism. At some point, the girl told her girlfriend what had happened.
Yeah.
The girlfriend told her mother.
Thank God.
The mother called the police. But see, all of this could have been avoided if someone had listened to me.
Yeah.
I had everything. And,
So did he end up abusing her kids?
yes, he abused a child. He's in prison. He's sitting in prison right now.
Good. That's what he gets.
I know, but he didn't kill her. But, I have to wonder, what if she hadn't told her girlfriend?
Yeah.
And that mother called the police.
Yeah, and then he could have been. It could have been the same. Because if you're going to do that to a kid, you would probably take that kid's life too.
Right. And the whole thing is, this guy, he was really a bad one.
Yeah.
Maybe people on the outside didn't see him that way. They saw him as this, charmer type guy. But I saw right through him, and especially after I found him on the computer where he had absconded from Florida.
Yeah.
And,
you can't let love blind you.
This woman was a smart woman. This woman, but you know what? She didn't have the means. She had good credit. She had a lot of credit cards. She let this guy, they would go to the mall, go shopping, all on her credit cards. His name was not attached to these cards.
Yeah.
But he was the one going to work and bringing in the money. He ruined her credit. It's these weak women. She was just a weak
woman who wanted this guy. But this wasn't her direct child. This was her grandchild. But still, she was keeping these two children. She knew what was going on.
Yeah, and allow
he
that
was
in the house and allow it in the house. You just almost just as responsible as the person doing it.
Well, it wasn't just in the house. He also had a truck that was a sleeper cab.
Oh,
She started traveling with him, her and the child, in the truck that was the sleeper cab.
so she 100% knew what was going on.
I totally believe she knew. She's dead now. But I totally believe she knew what was going on. But she kept denying it. I mean, she knew it. She was telling me all along, it's something not right with him. It's something, you know, she said, I've been with other men. He's not like him, you know, not like them.
Yeah, because he probably wasn't into her. He was into the kids, so he probably couldn't perform with her. But
and I told her, I said, I'm going to call the police. And she says, if he leaves, I'm going to kill myself.
oh Lord, we usually say unalive here. Unalive.
This woman, if you met this woman, you would think she was a businesswoman.
Yeah.
I mean, she, you know, always hair perfect, clothes perfect, everything. Not the kind of woman at all that you would think would put up with this.
That's pretty shocking.
And the strange thing is, her husband died a month before this guy shows up.
Huh?
And you know what else I think?
You think she may have offered her husband?
I definitely think she did.
All right. She feed him to the tigers?
Huh?
She feed him to the tigers like
no,
Phil
he was
Baskin?
supposed to have had a heart attack out in the yard.
Oh.
But nobody listened to me. And, you know, I think she had some connections on the local police force.
Uh-huh.
I think she had a distant relative on the local police force. And I think that's why they didn't listen. Nobody was listening.
Yeah.
Because she was, you know, I mean, when you see like a business lady, you know, like she could have been a judge for all you know.
Yeah.
If she walked in front of you, I mean, she didn't have long hair. She had nice cropped, professional hair, clothes, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So police are going to listen to her.
Yeah, I mean, if she looks believable, don't look like a monster, you know. It ain't like a drug addict coming out and talking to you.
But she had a history. I mean, she had been married 5 times. This was the 6th man.
Oh yeah, she has man problems. But look, hey, look, I appreciate you calling in and sharing that story with us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just telling you how these men
You did the right thing though. You seen something and you said something.
But I blame the internet for a lot of this because it's got to be something. This didn't go on when I was young. I mean, if it went on, it wasn't like this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, something is going on in this country that's causing all of this.
Definitely.
These children to disappear and everything. I mean, something is revving these men up.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm not, you know, so I have no clue. But look, I appreciate you calling in. You be safe, okay?
Okay, thanks.
All right, peace.
Bye-bye.
Dolly. Hello. Going once. Going twice. No sale. Okay, no sale, no sale. Dolly.
Dolly.
Yeah.
This is James from Tennessee.
What's up, James? You gotta turn me down in the background.
I got you turned down. My all my Facebook got hacked, or my YouTube got hacked. But what I was talking about McGoogle, once he goes, them Aryan Brotherhoods will cut that tattoo off him once they know he harmed a child.
Oh, okay. Oh, the Mac.
They'll take a razor blade and hold him down and cut that off.
Oh, okay.
So, because they don't. Then I was incarcerated for a while.
Okay.
And if you're you harm a child with Aryan Brotherhood, they will off you quickly.
Oh, okay. So when he gets to the prison, he's in big trouble.
Yep, they'll take and hold him down and cut that swastika off his arm.
Yeah, that's probably what needs to happen anyway. That dude is a monster. And this dude today, this Stephan Stern guy, he's a monster. He was just a monster in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, I'm watching you on Facebook because I can't watch you on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
And so, but what I was saying was that's both of them a monster.
Yeah.
And the way he when he went into, and he'll get his once he gets in prison. If you hurt a child, once you go into prison, they'll put you in protective custody. If they don't do it, someone off you.
Yeah. Well, I hope there's some prison justice for that, because if he just goes back to prison, that just don't seem like justice to me, because he looks like he's institutionalized anyway.
Yeah.
So, hey, I appreciate you calling in, my man.
Yeah, no problem, Jimmy.
All right. You be good. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, we got some monsters out here, some really bad ones. And these people that are doing these things to kids, you definitely got to be careful. Talk to your kids. I mean, a lot of lessons should be learned over these last 2 weeks. Dolly.
Hello?
Hello.
Is this Dolly?
Yes, this is Dolly.
Hi, it's Dark Horse.
Hey, Dark Horse. How's it going?
Good. So, I have a couple of questions. Does anybody know what Mom's work schedule is? Was she home that morning? Does she have, what is her work schedule?
I don't know. And that's why I've not been trying to judge the lady too bad, because it appears that, with this, we took her to school, we this, we that. She was dead at 7:30 that morning. We know from the police. What
At least 7:30.
At least
Probably way
7:30.
before.
Yeah, probably way before, right? So that mother couldn't have seen this little girl that day. She could.
And how did he get her out of the house without her knowing if she was home? Was she home?
That's what I don't know. I don't know the schedule either. That's why I've been trying not to 100% judge this lady. I've only been trying to 50% judge her. Because if she was there, how do you done walked out with her dead body with her home? It gets a little strange.
And, okay, so then past, Mom's work schedule, and how was she, even if she's home, how did she not know something happened? But his Lincoln is going to tell a tale. You know what I'm saying? Because those Lincolns are not cheap, and they have computer systems that will track everything. But of course, it's going to take time to get that information.
Yeah.
The data. And then thinking again about his reset of his phone. He may have tried to reset his phone, I believe, to try to erase his location.
Maybe.
But sometimes that works, sometimes that doesn't. Because he factory reset it. So I don't know what kind of phone he has.
All that stuff goes to a cloud these days that you can't get rid of. The only way to delete anything on your phone is to overwrite it, and you don't have that option on your phone. I've learned that in true crime. Don't do nothing on your phone because you can't delete it. Whatever you put on your phone,
I don't think he's smart.
Never delete it. The only way to delete something on your phone is to overwrite it.
I don't even know how to do that.
That's what I'm saying. You don't even know how to do it because you can't do it. So you can't. It appears that stuff is off your phone, but it's not. That's how they're able. The Celebrite is able to grab all this data off your phone, is because you can never really delete it.
Okay.
And mostly the stuff nowadays goes to a cloud and it's stored. So there's no deleting the information off your phone. It's kept.
But even if it goes to the cloud, then it's still on your phone though, right?
Yeah, they still have access to it. Yes.
Crazy.
So
the
phone is basically, the phone is your worst enemy if you're a criminal.
Yes, of course. And I don't believe that she actually sent that text message saying that she wanted to, run away into the woods. But my other thing is I'm very concerned with the mom. I look at her behaviors on camera, with
him in the background, and then I look at her behaviors, you know, I'm still dying to see the video. I hear it's out there. I haven't seen it yet. The video of her confronting him. I haven't seen that one yet.
I haven't seen
But
that.
like, I hear it's out there. There's a video of her confronting him, but I mean, I'm a mom of 4 and a grandma of 3.
Uh-huh.
I cannot even imagine, like, I could never sit in front of a camera and talk about my daughter being taken or my granddaughter being taken. She just has such a low affect, like just a steady affect of just like, there's nothing there in her eyes or her. And
That's why I was asking, did anybody think she may be on the spectrum just a little bit?
I mean, I think so. I honestly do think so. You see her face and her nose, her cheeks and her nose get red when she's about to cry, but she doesn't actually cry. You know, but
Yeah, she was
there's
definitely
something
wiping dry
so-
tears, that's for sure.
yeah, there's something so off with this that I'm just like, what is it? Are you protect? And she says we a lot in the very beginning, and I'm like, so is this something that he is projecting to you, saying like you got to say this, or there's so much of this we stuff in the very beginning, and then you know, does she find out that he actually did something to her, and then she changes her? I don't know. It's this. There's something so off with this that it's disturbing, and it does remind me of Audrey a bit, in a different sort of way. But to hear from the press conference today that they have video of her on a live in the car, that just blew my mind.
Okay, I want to address this real quick, and this is coming out. Hey, look, I want to first let me end this call. Thanks for calling. I want to show something on the screen real quick.
Yes, honey, you have a great day. Thank you for all you do.
You too. Peace. All right, this is coming out of the group from Madeline Soto from the family. The family don't want people giving condolences or saying R.I.P. because they don't believe this girl was dead and she may return home. Let me share this with you guys, okay? Let me blow this up a little for you guys to see it. But it says, administration post, per the family's request, no condolences or rest in peace for now. Please, we still hold on hope. She may have been unconscious and may still be found. Okay, so they believe she wasn't dead in the car. She may have been unconscious in the car, and she may be found. We know the shock. We feel the shock. We are living the shock, anguish, pain, and anger too. Here is how you can help for now. Please check your cameras, ring doorbells, etc. in the St. Cloud area to see if you can place the silver MKC anywhere in the St. Cloud area, especially near 192. And it just gives the address. And it says contact the hotline. Please check any construction or abandoned areas nearby. The family much appreciates it. Okay, so listen. This lady believes this man. Oh my God. Oh my God. Right? She believes that little girl is unconscious in the car. I don't know if this group is, this is saying it's coming from the family. I pray to God that ain't coming from the family. But that is in the group, and that is what they're sharing. That don't say rest in peace, don't send condolences. Look, the police don't come out and tell you that and not know something. All right. This lady don't want to accept the fact that this dude is a monster. What about what's on his phone? Okay. That's what I would go to. The police wasn't lying about what's on his phone. They're not lying that he's done carried this girl to the car. I told you there's a video of her in the car and she didn't walk to the car. The police said it in so many words. The cops would never say she passed, shake my head. Yeah, they're not going to come out here and tell you this little girl dead and she's alive. They're pretty confident. Did you hear how they said it? I mean, you know, we heard it 10 times already on this channel. We just keep playing it, but they didn't. They said she's dead. You know, we had to give the mother the worst news that her little girl's dead, that we have video evidence. And they didn't go into detail, but I'm sure, you know, why would he be carrying an unconscious kid to the car? It doesn't change anything. This lady has been with this dude for years, and it's probably all she knows, you know, and I don't know if he's the breadwinner or what is going on in this situation, but that is pretty horrible. Bones just gifted $5 memberships. So if you got one, make sure you thank Bones. They don't come free, and that's a good way to keep Dolly alive and not homeless. Okay, I gotta keep these lights on. Gotta keep the lights on. So thank you for gifting those memberships. Thank you guys for being here. Worst news you could get first thing in the morning, because I had just woke up, you know, because I was here late last night working in the studio and things. And I got up and I'm thinking, okay, they got a press conference. This is going to be good. The little girl ran away. Nope. The worst news you could humanly get. Dude's a monster. We knew he was a monster anyway. We knew that yesterday. But there was the hope that she escaped that monster. That hope was crushed. Any hope left in the room was evaporated. And they came right out. She's dead. We have evidence. This is a recovery. Other police counties are involved. We still haven't recovered her body. He ain't saying nothing. You know, he's lawyered up. We watched him get transported. The reporter was firing off questions like that. I sent the news clip to him crying to that number you posted in call-ins. You sent a video clip to the call-ins. Hold on a second. Okay, I got your clip right here. Didn't I play this? I've already played this. Yeah, we've already played this. I played this already. I got it that you sent to me on the phone lines. You sent me the link, but we just got done watching that just a minute ago. That's the one where he's sitting there crying, wiping his eyes. And desperate women putting a man before their kids. Damn. You're so welcome. That's awesome of you, Bones. Believing the POS instead of her daughter. What the F? And her daughter is believed deceased, and she's still believing this man. At this point, like, I don't know if this girl's all there in her head. That's why I asked. I didn't ask to being funny, you know, like, is she a little slowish? And sometimes these people that are slow, they could be geniuses in other areas, you know, like Rain Man or something, you know everything, but just in the real world, they like could be super book smart and then have no street intelligence or like human life intelligence. Mom could be medicated and working at Disney. Yes, that's true. Does anybody know what the mom does? We know he played Goofy at the damn Disney World. What does the mom do? Does anybody in here know what the mom does? Lisa says she's in shock and doesn't want to believe the truth. I mean, that's a possibility. No common sense. Oh my God, he was Goofy. Yes, he was Goofy at Disney World. But I don't know what she did. Hold on. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly, this is Linda Lou.
Hey, Linda Lou.
Hey, I'm slow. I'm 76 years old, and I'm slow on this, the new one right here.
Uh-huh.
Whose car was she found, was thought that they are been put in?
Well, the car was a Lincoln, and it was owned by Stephan Sterns.
Is that the boyfriend or the?
Yeah, her boyfriend for several years They have video evidence of him throwing her book bag away with her laptop in it. They also have video evidence of her in the car, and they didn't say how she got in the car, but we're assuming that he carried her to the car, and they believe she's deceased. So he hid the body somewhere.
Oh, they hid the body. I thought they said that they was looking for the car.
No, they have the car. They have
Oh,
his
okay.
car, and they have him in custody. They just don't know what he did with the little girl.
Oh, I started to say, well, if he, I was looking for the car, you know, so I'm, like I said, I'm behind time.
Oh, it's fine.
But, I mean, yeah, he's guilty all the way around. He ain't going to go nowhere.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No, but I appreciate you, darling. You have a good day, honey.
You too.
Bye-bye.
All right, you be good. So this is a little bit more of the mother's interview that we've been watching. We'll just play this between calls
But that's just so heartbreaking to be
because we can see a little bit more where her story don't add up.
celebrating her 13th birthday, and then the very next day, that's the last you've seen of her.
Yeah.
I mean, where do you go now? Are you gonna go out there and search or look, or what is are you sticking by the phone? Are you what are you doing?
I'm staying at home, staying by the phone, hoping she just appears. I know my entire family is out looking. They've all spread a bunch of flyers. They've gone, I've had people contact me that they've gone to the international airport to spread flyers, to Amtrak, to Greyhound, just any way that if someone's
Okay. All I know is it's been reported that he does not work for the Walt Disney. This individual does not work for the company. Okay. So it's been put out that somebody had reached out to Walt Disney and they said, thank you for reaching out. The below information is being provided on background. This individual does not work for the company. Best with wishes. Walt Disney World Communications. Okay. So people are, I guess this might be some internet rumors that he was goofy, or maybe he was goofy at one time for Walt Disney World, but at this present time, he does not work for the Walt Disney World company. Thank you for joining up. 13th hour. Thank you for joining.
taken her and they're trying to take her just to show her face, just to make sure, she's not being taken against her will.
And you mentioned ADHD. Was there anything else maybe mentally going on, or that you knew of?
She does suffer from anxiety, and once upon a time she was diagnosed with autism.
I guarantee you this right now, that they are ripping apart this apartment. I guarantee you they're in there looking for every single thing. I bet they done flipped every single thing over in this house, looking for bodily fluids, everything for blood, all of that. I'm sure they're ripping the car apart as we speak. They're probably taking the doors off of it. You know how they do. They'll pull it right into a bay like they did in the Harmony Montgomery thing. They'll strip that car down, spray every inch of it, search for blood all over it with Q-tips. I'm sure that's all processing right now.
We had her what's the word?
Brained, maybe?
Reevaluated.
Okay.
We had her reevaluated a few months ago, actually, and they told us no, she didn't have autism, but she did have some autistic traits. She did have ADHD, some autistic traits, but not autism. So I'm not sure where to leave with that, because one doctor said she did and one doctor saying she doesn't, and I don't know. She's just in the middle, I guess, because she does have some tendencies, but socially she's
okay. PJ, this picture you sent me, I cannot show that on this channel. All right. I will describe to you what it is. It is a picture of this guy that is responsible for this. And he's in his Halloween outfit was him in a prison suit. And he is holding, let's say a toy that women play with to his area. All right. Now it's funny that that's his Halloween outfit, because he's probably going to be bent over in something just like that here shortly. I ain't showing that though here. Okay. But there is some, maybe I'll post it on one of the groups or something. You can, and people can see it, but it's not his private parts, but it's, you know, he's holding something and he's in a prison outfit. Maybe he was throwing chicken bones and he can predict the future and he knew he was going to prison. But he's definitely in a prison outfit and it's his Halloween costume. So fitting, so fitting.
Pretty great. So I'm not sure.
And with the video that you were able to see whenever your boyfriend dropped her off, where was that? Which video? Was that a surveillance camera?
It was a surveillance camera from the church, Peace Church, right next to Hunters Creek Middle School.
And do you have that video?
I don't have that. They didn't show me. They wouldn't.
Well, we know it was a grainy video of a kid, and that kid was not her because now we know that she never made it to school. She was unconscious. So this family believes to keep your eye out that we're looking for this little girl and she could have been unconscious. That's literally what they put out in the group. Now, I don't know if the group is really connected to the family or if somebody just made a Facebook group about this, because sometimes people do that. Usually when something goes down, I think Plunder makes groups for like all kinds of missing people. Like you'll go up there, every Plunder stuff. So you don't know who makes the groups and who's connected to who. So I don't want to be like, that's what the family said, but the group is saying that's what the family said. And that is strange. Okay. That is a whole lot of strange. Like, oh, she could have been unconscious. You know, we got to live in reality. We live in a crazy world. He was assaulting this child. He carried her out unconscious. How'd she get unconscious? Right? That don't make no sense. Maybe this lady did know. Maybe she did know. I have no way of knowing. We're just guessing. But she did tell some lies. She definitely told some lies that didn't make sense. Or, well, let's just say she told some not truths. Okay? Not truths.
Didn't show me that it was actually my sister was the one at location and they were letting her know what they saw on camera.
Okay.
But they didn't show it to any of us.
Got it. Okay. Jen, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Please, 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 if you have any information, contact me, contact law enforcement. Any information helps. Maddie, if you see this, please come home. Please be safe. I love you very much. If you have my Maddie, please just let her come home. We just want her home.
Okay. Did that seem legit to you guys? I mean, when I watched it, it didn't seem too legit. You get Chris Watts vibes. Maybe they wanted her out the way. I don't want to blame nobody for that. But how can you miss all those signs? Dolly.
Dolly, Carla from Canada again.
Hey, Carla. What's going on?
Well, number one, this mother's full of crap.
You got to turn me down. You got to turn me down.
I turned you off. Dolly. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you a story about my uncle who worked for Christie's Cookies, and he had his
Hello? Did we lose you? Canada. Uh-oh. I think terrorists just took out the whole country of Canada. I think we lost Canada. She got earthquake. Was there an earthquake in Canada? I mean, she's still on the line, but she's not talking. I don't hear her. Okay. As far as I know, right now, we could be at war and somebody just took out Canada. All right. So just call back, Canada. Get your stuff working right. I don't know what happened, but we lost you. The investigation isn't over. The truth will show itself. Okay. Dolly.
I don't know why it hung up, Dolly. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine.
Where did we get to?
You were in Canada.
Oh, okay. So
Oh, and
going to tell you
somebody worked for some cookie place.
Yes, my uncle, and he raised 4 little girls that were normal, got good grades, totally happy. And then my cousin was 17 and she tried to take her life. And it turned out that he was raping all 4 of his daughters. So
Say Arlie.
normal looking man would have never known.
And the mom never knew?
And the mom never knew. I will say though, when it all came out, the mom did come and get her daughters and they actually went back to the States from Canada. So
Okay.
yeah, so you just never know, but I don't believe this mom.
You don't believe her? You think she knew?
She knew. What's with this? We dropped her off and we watched her walk down the road. If she was gone, she knew.
Okay.
She knew. There's no emotion in that lady, not one bit until the end. Come on now. If your daughter was missing, Dolly, you wouldn't be that calm.
I damn sure wouldn't be that calm.
Right? So she's full of crap. Totally straight out. And I believe she should be. If the daughter's messaging friends saying what's happening and that she's told her mom and her mom's done nothing, she should be sitting in jail. And number one, that POS will never get touched in jail because he'll go in protective custody right away.
Well, they got I just got it in my mail. They got a GoFundMe up for her. And it says, my name is Andrea, and I'm setting this up for my best friend, Jen, who is desperately searching for her missing daughter, Madeline Soto. Madeline just turned 13, blonde hair, blue eyes, dimples when she smiles, and 2 moles, one next to her right nostril and one on the left side of her chin. She was last seen February 26 around 8:30 to 9 o'clock on her way to school. Now we know that's not true. She was never seen on her way to school. She never made it there.
She never made it there.
But
she probably wasn't alive in that car because you throw that book bag and laptop in the garbage. What child isn't going to react? Some child's going to do something if you're throwing her laptop away.
They're trying to raise $5,000 right here. And that's the friend. Oh, I don't know, guys. I don't know if this is legit or not. I don't know who these people are, but I just wanted to share it with y'all that there is one out there for this little girl and the family. But at this point, I don't know. Do you give anything to the family if they might be the ones responsible for her? Or this could be somebody, because a lot of times when something like this happens, people scam too. They create these sites so people will donate to them, and then they steal the money and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Well, are they going to interview the mother again? Now that she knows what's happened?
I bet she won't be too willing to give interviews now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, Dolly, I don't believe her, and I think she should be right in jail with them.
Yeah, and
I think they're friends.
I mean, I don't know. If I knew more about the lady, I could, I'm only 50% judging her. She could be innocent and have no clue, and she can be just as big of a victim, or she could be a piece of shit. It's just so hard to tell.
It is hard to tell. But I don't see emotions there until the very end. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. If my daughter was missing, and I wouldn't be able to contain my emotions. Like, that's my baby,
Yeah, but
I don't know.
And we don't know what she's been through with him. You know what I'm saying? Because he looks really controlling because he's right there while she's doing this interview.
Yeah, and cracking his
knuckles. And again,
the
when he was crying, she was comforting him. You don't see him comforting her. That's strange to me.
Right? Totally.
Maybe
like
he's the victim kind of dude. He's playing victim to everything. Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm not there. I'm just guessing.
Well, I personally think we should take them out back just like the old days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be a lot more biker justice, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, because they got him on video. They got it on video. So he's done. And he might as well at this point just tell where the little girl's at and save the state a bunch of money.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey.
And if the mother didn't know, let the mother do it.
Yeah. I appreciate you calling in.
Okay, Dolly. You have a good night.
Peace. Yeah, you see a big bearded man crying over a baby I mean, I ain't saying it can't happen. That ain't his, and the mother's comforting him. That's a big red flag to me. You know, that he's a monster. Now, I don't know about the mom. You know, I'm 50-50 on this one. I think she maybe should have knew, but I also believe there's a possibility that she may not have known. You know, some of these monsters threaten the kids. If you talk, I'll hurt you and your mother. So we don't know if Maddie ever went to her mother. She did say that she looked through her emails and she didn't see nothing strange. So at some point she was checking on her daughter. I find it odd that she waited to 8 o'clock at night to call about her daughter. But you know, it's nothing unusual for a teenager to go out and hang out. So I just feel 50-50 on the mother. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
Courtney from Texas.
Hey, Courtney.
So I've been kind of just popping in and out. And I kind of just wanted to touch on a little bit of, I think it was Granny who called in earlier. And she was saying, you know, how she knows what goes on in her house and things like that.
Yeah.
And as far as that goes, I mean, I get that, but I mean, not everybody lives in a small home. Now, these people, I think they live in an apartment. So, I mean, I mean, you're going to hear what's going on.
Yeah.
From one room to the next if it's a small space, but that's not the case in everybody's case. I mean, people live in houses where you have master bedrooms on, you know, like one side of the house, and you have kids on the whole other side of the house, or you have rooms upstairs and rooms downstairs. So that's not always.
Yeah, my house, we could talk in my house. Like if you was in the living room, me and PJ do it all the time from the studio to the living room. I'd be like, hey, PJ, she can hear me. My house ain't that big. I live in like a little 3-bedroom ranch.
Yeah, and that's exactly how my house is. I mean, my kids are in the kitchen cooking, and I'm asleep in my room. I can hear it. However, there's also times where I knock out, and the kids could be up, you know, all night, and I wouldn't even know just because you're asleep. You just can't hear.
Yeah, if you're in a big
But
house,
also,
I did live in a big ass house at one point. You couldn't hear nothing in that house. If you
nothing. Yeah, my father-in-law's old house, I mean, it was one of those houses that, you know, not really like a square. It was like a really long house. So, I mean, there was rooms on like one end, and then the whole center of the house was like living room, kitchen, den, you know, and then you have bedrooms like on the complete opposite end. So, I mean, maybe in those cases, you know, but I mean, living in a small apartment, I don't understand how the mom didn't hear. And again, like my husband can get up in the middle of the night, and I'm not going to go stand outside the restroom and be like, okay, let me make sure that he's not going into the kids' rooms or something. You know, like that's just not the case in every situation. But also I was thinking because, you know, like in her interview, like she does look super, super cold. And I don't know, I was talking to my husband about it, and he kind of brought something up to me because we watch a lot of true crime stuff.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, there's been cases where the mom knows that her husband or boyfriend or whatever the case is looking at the child, and the mom, you know, maybe she never confronted him because she just, you know, didn't want him to know that she noticed it or saw it. But then maybe, like, what if she started to kind of get this, like, jealousy toward the daughter? You know what I mean? Which could be why she just really has no emotion, because she probably has that jealousy toward the daughter. Like, oh, I know my husband looks at my daughter. And some women are like that, where they, you know, they're so, like, they want the man so bad that they get that jealousy, like, because the man doesn't look at his own woman the way he's looking at her kid.
When people are in love, they will do some of the weirdest, craziest, unexplainable stuff that you can imagine, you know. And I think she is. I mean, if what's coming out right now is true in that post from that group, that, you know, she thinks she's unconscious and she could still be out there. She is like madly in love with this man and can't believe this is her. She's more worried about this dude right now than her kid, I think. If that is true, if that's true, you know, I don't know if that's true. So it is. That would be strange.
I have a cousin that, you know, I mean, nothing, not that we know of or never suspected anything that, you know, happened to her kids, but I have a cousin that's like that, where, you know, like every time she gets a new boyfriend, you know, like right away she gets with this boyfriend, and then she's moving them into her house like next week.
Yeah.
And so there's never like breaks between her and her kids. And then she gets so wrapped up in these men that, you know, her kids get treated like shit, or, you know, like she just, doesn't pay them any mind. You know, like these men could be probably doing anything to her kids
Yeah.
because she's just so wrapped up in that man that they just don't, it's like they don't see anything else. And then the relationship's over, and then it's like, oh my God, how come y'all didn't tell me that, you know, this and this and this was going on? And it's like, because you wouldn't believe them anyway, because you were so wrapped up in the relationship. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
And the whole we thing, it makes her look
that was
bad.
Yeah, and that was another thing. Like, you know, I have days where I take my kids to school and then I come home, get myself ready, and take myself to school. Or I have days where, you know, my husband, he's a truck driver, and so he, you know, he has random days during the week where he doesn't have to go to work and I have to still go to school. So it's like, hey, you take the kids since you're off today, you take the kids while I stay home and get ready to go to school. And I'm not telling people, hey, we dropped our kids off in the morning. Hey, we went here. Hey, we went there. No, if he dropped them off. Hey, remember when you took the kids to school? Did you stop here? Hey, remember when you took the kids to school? Where did you leave the keys?
Yeah, I don't say that
I
either.
was thinking about that earlier. It's crazy.
I
So
mean, when me and PJ are together, but when I say when I did this or I did, I don't say we like I have a mouse in my pocket.
Yeah. Yep.
So that makes
I
her look
agree.
bad.
Yep. It was nice talking to you. That's all I got.
All right, you have a good one.
You too. Talk to you later.
All right, peace. Yeah, so like I said, horrible news coming out today about this little girl, and I don't even want to think about the terrible things that happened to her that night. But if she did die that night, she died in the house with her mother there. That is chilling. And you know, how do you live in a little apartment and you not hear any of these things? There's a million questions I could ask, but you know, the lady is going through a lot right now. I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, but from the interview she gave and from what we're learning, it don't look good on either one of them's part, kind of, you know. And I'd like to see what the mother has to say now that she knows what is going on. I'd like to see an interview with her now to see if she's in a different state of mind. It's probably not the best if she has no knowledge and she's just finding out that her daughter is no longer with us. She probably is going through something I've never experienced, more pain and sorrow than, you know, you probably could imagine. But if she has knowledge, then she just don't give two F's because she don't show it. She don't seem to be a real emotional person, you know. She don't seem to be pleading. So it seems a little bit, but you don't know how brainwashed she is either by this man too. You know, she could be believing him. He could spin a nice web, maybe. I don't know. But he's definitely a monster. He definitely sat in on the interview so he could hear what she said. He probably coached her. Like, say, we did this, you know, because she kept tying herself into it. And that didn't sound good. And then she did the one slip. She said, well, he took her to school. But earlier it was we watched her walk, we this, we that. If it's we, then in the South, like we would like to say, y'all need to be in jail. If it's we, then we means more than one. I don't know where you from that it means singlet, one person, but damn, we seems like teamwork is what we sounds like to me. If I was the mother, I'd be like, I don't know. I went to work. He was here with her. He took her to school, not we. This whole we shit. If it's we, that means teamwork to me. Teamwork make the jail work. Okay, your ass need to be in jail if you up here lying purposely. And it seems like maybe she was coached a little bit. Oh, don't you know? I don't know, but I know the good thing is this, and there's no good thing. Let me say that first off. Nothing's good about any of this shit. The only thing that's happening that I appreciate is that the fact that the police have been locking these people up so fast. That's my good thing, you know, is that they're catching these people almost instantly after it happens. I can't, you know, we don't have a way to stop the crime before it happens, but they're catching them almost directly after it happens. I think that's good because these people ain't had a chance to run. They ain't getting away. We know the person that's responsible is going to pay. That is good police work. So we got to take a second, right? We got to thank the Orange County Police in Florida for the awesome job they have done. You got to respect the police when they do a good job. They took this man into custody. They searched his phone. They found evidence. He ain't going nowhere. They know what's going on. That is great police work. So shout out to the police down there that work so hard, that's out there searching. You got to remember it's dangerous. They got swamps and alligators and shit, and these people out there putting their lives in jeopardy looking for this little girl. Thank you to all them first responders, right? Because look, if I go missing, I want to be thanking people now that may come find me one day. I'm kind of adventurous, you know, so you never know. Might slip off a cliff. Wouldn't be the first time. But I landed in water. If I would have landed on rocks, I'd be dead. But I did slip off this cliff and land in a quarry of water. If I'd have been 6 inches more, I'd be dead right now. I wouldn't even be here to do this podcast with you guys. Okay. I'd be just dead. So these people that do go out and rescue people and save people and hunt for people, everybody's important in all this. The people that like it, the people that share the pictures, the people that go out and hunt, their dogs. I mean, the police, the firefighters, the paramedics, the people that fly in the choppers searching. All very important, right? So all them people deserve a big thank you for the awesome work they've done over the last 2 weeks. And I'm just talking over the last 2 weeks. Texas police did an awesome job. Okay. Florida police have done an awesome job. So if one thing over the last couple of weeks, we've seen some awesome police work. So shout out to them dudes that are risking their life out there every day. Cause sometimes, you know, everybody's like, F the police. But right when somebody steals your stuff or somebody goes missing, who's the first person you call? It ain't the Ghostbusters. Okay. It ain't the Ghostbusters. Somebody breaks in your house, tries to kill you. First person you calling is the police, but they don't get the respect they deserve. Okay. And there's bad police out there. Yes. But there's also teams and teams of wonderful, great people that risk their life every day to make sure you're safe. Now tell me that ain't awesome. That's pretty damn awesome. Who you going to call? Police. That's right. I ain't calling the Ghostbusters. You come try to kill me. Right? Gonna be like, yeah, let me call damn Bill Murray. That ain't working. He's doing Caddyshack. He's busy at the moment. Better call the damn 911. Get the police out here trying to kill Dolly, trying to stab me in the neck with fork. Be some crazy woman I known from 7th grade. And then shank me up. Oh, hell nah. So, look, all jokes, day not good. That's a bad start. That is a bad start. So hopefully something good happens today since we heard something, you know, so tragic. So when I come back later today, that's the thing about true crime. It's always bad news. It's 5% good news. And I think 95% like, man, damn. Shake your head stuff. Like I still one of the people that believe there's good people in this world. Like it scares me to know that everybody's monsters. Because I truly, when I go out, I treat everybody like they're really good people in a crazy world. And you know, there's probably times that I'm nice to people and they're monsters and I just don't even know it. But I still hold hope that I know there's good people. I got a lot of good people in here. And I just hope that the good always outweighs the bad. that's what I pray, that, you know, there's a yin and a yang in this world. You're going to have good and you're going to have evil. I just pray that good always outweighs evil. You guys have been awesome today. If you haven't, make sure you like the video. Okay. I'm going to get out of here for a little while. I'll be back tonight. And of course, we'll be touching in on this a little bit and some other things that are going on. I was supposed to talk about the Amish stuff, right? But maybe I'll put that off a little bit till this evening. And we'll talk about this murder that took place. And look, there ain't even such thing as an Amish paradise anymore. All right. You can't even have an Amish paradise. You got to protect your kids, watch over everybody. Nowhere is safe. Amish country ain't even safe. We're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. As more information comes out on this today, we'll fill you in this evening when I come back. Be safe. Hug your loved ones. Talk to your kids. I think that's the biggest message we learned in the last 2 weeks in true crime, right? If you're a parent and you're watching this and you got young kids, which I don't got a lot of young people, but you never know. Talk to your kids. You'll be surprised what they'll tell you. And you never know what's going on. People are sick, you know, teachers, people that are around, anybody. Ask them about everybody. Hey, and let them know. Hey, don't let anybody does this thing to any of this stuff to you. You come to me, you let me know instantly. Right? No matter what they say. Because, you know, if they get to your kid before you do, they can say, well, I'll hurt your mom. But as a mother, you can be like, look, I don't care if this person says they're going to chop me up in little pieces, what they're going to do. If this happens, you come let me know. Okay? Because you got to get to your kids and fill them with that knowledge before some monster does. So learn from everything that happens, because if not, it'll happen again. And I'll see you guys later today. Be good. Peace.